Crowned as country's 7th biggest B-School fest, OJAS is the flagship management festival of SPJIMR Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai, with participation from 100 plus B-schools and undergraduate colleges. The fest in its previous editions saw massive participation of over 9,000 students, registering for 25 events from all domains across 3 days, even when it was virtual. This year is about making it bigger and better. From the despair of disconnected, illusionary world to coming together in the post-pandemic reality, a promise of change and hope marks the 14th edition of OJAS. aSPire is a flagship OJAS event for undergraduate aspiring managers to get a taste of B-School case competitions and experience the exhilarating journey of solving real-life business problems. It gives the participants a chance to solve real-life business problems, network with management students across the country, as well as learn and develop necessary skills for a fulfilling B-School journey through multiple workshops and seminars. This year too, aSPire, with participation from 50 plus students, upheld its legacy of a premier event, giving undergraduate students a chance to work on real-life case problems. After an event spanning 2 rounds, the first one being the online quiz and then the executive summary submission round, we have finally left with our 12 national finalists, consisting of both strategy and marketing domains. I would request Professor Aditi Devitya, who is currently an associate professor in Information Management Department and is the member of the program leadership team for PGDM, to address the national finalists. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bharat. A very warm welcome to all the national finalists, and many, many congratulations. I think it's amazing that you have, amongst all the ones who have participated, you have been the chosen ones to become the national finalists. And it is very prestigious. And it is extremely exciting, I'm sure, at your end to be part of such an event like aSPire. And as Bharat told us, that aSPire is a part of OJAS, which is the flagship management event at SPJIMR. And I'm sure all of you know about SPJIMR, right? It has consistently been, amongst the top 10 in the last 15 years. And in fact, in the last couple of years, it is amongst the top 5 and 6 business schools in India. And all of you being undergraduates and yet being able to crack an event specially carved out for undergraduates by OJAS is an amazing feat. So pat your backs and enjoy what is coming ahead. I think the OJAS team especially reaches out to the undergrad students with this event. I think this is a rare thing for B schools to be actually wanting to include the undergraduate students as well. And it is very nice of the OJAS team to have created this event, especially for all of you. As you know, the marketing and strategy front, and you learn so much about business. So it's not only winning, but it's also so much learning at your end, which is happening. And of course, we want all of you to know about SPJIMR, and you will through all that you have been through. And you can see the team of OJAS which is working, and maybe aspire to be there yourself someday, right? So all the very best to all of you. Enjoy the entire event. Winning probably is going to happen to maybe 1 or 2 teams, but it is the fact that you have reached this pinnacle and you have reached so far shows that you are a brilliant set of students, and you can keep aspiring for a whole lot more, right? Congratulations once again. Over to you, Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Yeah. So thank you, ma'am, for your kind and encouraging words for the national finalists. I'm sure all the national finalists are now ready to present their business ideas to our esteemed judges. With that, I would like to close the inaugural phase of the final round of aSPire. I would request all the marketing participants to kindly log in to the other Zoom link that has been shared with them. I wish you all the best from Team OJAS 14. Thank you. Yeah, so all the marketing participants, can you please log into the other Zoom meeting link that has been shared with you? You can also find the Zoom meeting link for the marketing case competition on the Zoom chat. I would also request Ivy ma'am and Ranjan sir to please join the marketing Zoom link.
Sure, thanks for it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, guys, can you please turn on your videos? So I guess everybody is ready. So welcome everyone to the final round of SPJIMR OJAS 14 aSPire strategy presentations. Life at SPJIMR is a unique mix of case competitions, various mentoring sessions, adda sessions from your fellow batchmates on exam nights, and much, much more. To aSPire, we orchestrated a similar experience for all of our undergrad participants, wherein they got a flavor of the working on a real life case problem, developing their own business acumen with an overall enriching experience. Filled with numerous events such as the Campus Ambassador Program, buddy mapping, and various workshops. And now, after all this, I welcome our national finalists, namely Team Incognito, Team Chocolate, Team Dawn, Team MECE, Team YOP, Team Outliers, and Team Sapphire to the final hurdle, aSPire strategy case presentation. I would now like to introduce our esteemed judges, Mr. Kartavya Khanna and Mr. Mukund Goel to you all. Mr. Kartavya is a 2021 SPJIMR graduate who has worked for Johnson Matthey for 2 years and is currently working for PwC Consulting as an associate. Mr. Mukund is a 2021 SPJIMR graduate who has an experience with Hewlett Packard and is currently working as a program manager at Amazon AFDP. I extend a warm welcome to both of our judges for the event on behalf of Team OJAS 14. Participants, kindly note, I will now be debriefing you all regarding the timings for individual team presentation. Now, each team presentation would need to be completed in 10 minutes. So we will show you an indication at 8 minutes, and there would be a hard stop at 10 minutes. Question and answer time for each presentation would be 5 minutes. After that, there would be a hard stop. Is there any doubt with regards to the timing to any one of you? Am I clear with the timing? I'll just repeat myself. So at 8 minutes, we'll show you an indication, and then there's a hard stop at 10 minutes. And for the question and answer round, we have a hard stop at 5 minutes. So without further ado, let me call upon our first team Incognito, to present their business solution to our judges. All the best, Team Incognito. I would request the participants of Team Incognito to kindly raise their virtual hands.
Hello, am I visible and audible?
Yeah, you're visible and audible, but can you just raise your virtual hand? Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the members of Team Incognito, can you please share your screen?
Yeah,
Before we start, I think Vineet, your virtual background is doing something.
Yeah, actually, it's not fitting very
Waiting
well.
on my, yeah, it's a little flickery. Can you remove the virtual background for
Yeah,
now?
I'll remove it from
Better.
now. Actually,
Yeah.
the device doesn't support it, so this wish. Is
No
it
worries.
fine now?
Yeah, it is fine now. Yep.
Yeah. So just before starting, one of my team members couldn't make it right now. He had a flight from Jammu to Mumbai, so he couldn't make it. We have contacted the team regarding this. So I only I'll be presenting the complete presentation.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Just a suggestion here. Can they make it in some time? Is it possible to reschedule this presentation to the later part of the event, or?
So actually, as a flight currently is in the flight, so it won't be possible today.
All right, go ahead.
So I'll be sharing my screen. Just a second.
Yeah, your screen is visible, Vineet. You can please go ahead.
Okay, sure. Just a second. Oh, yeah. So transport is no longer a luxury in the world we live in. It has become a necessity. We at Palantir want to help the middle class crowd by providing good transport at affordable costs. With that, good afternoon. I am Vineet Mankani, and I'll be presenting a case study on the car company Palantir and the roadmap of the launch of the new brand. India has been ranked as the fifth largest automobile manufacturer worldwide. Survey results of 2018 show that 36% of the respondents in India stated that they own a car. With advancements in technologies and an increasing necessity of private transport, automobile production worldwide has surged up well in the 21st century, along with a CAGR of 6.94 in 2021. Moving on to a target market, it is divided into 4 layers. The bottommost layer represents the middle class population of tier 1 and 2 cities in India. And as and when we go to the top of the pyramid, there lies the top 2% of the population. We have prepared a layout of different models according to the 4 layers, which we'll be covering in a while. For the initial 2 years, we have a customer persona ready that depicts what kind of customers we are looking forward to. Out of the 5 components of the CVP, we are primarily targeting the question, why should we purchase your offering instead of your competitors? We aim at providing good transport at affordable prices and value our customer base. So that's it from the CVP side of it. Moving on to a roadmap, we plan to launch the total of 6 car models over the projected 6 years, ranging from INR rupees 7 lakh to 50 lakh. In the first 2 years, we will be mainly aiming to capture the middle class population by launching model A, B, and C. In the subsequent years, we plan to expand our domain to luxury cars targeting the upper class population. Later down the time, then we will also manufacture EV as well as autopilot models to cope up with the advancement in technology. So you can have a look at the 6 car models. The images are only for representation purposes over here. So now each of these models shown will be having a unique inbuilt safety system. So along with providing good transportation at affordable rates, we also consider safety as the utmost priority. Statistics support that wearing a seatbelt could save around 47% of lives lost in road accidents worldwide. The smart seatbelt safety system, from here I'll be referring it to as quad-S system, is paired with a smartphone via an application that will alert if anyone in the backseat unbuckles their seatbelt. So basically, this is a concept about the USP. We have considered safety as a USP. Go-to-marketing strategy. This involves the 5 Ws and the 6th question, how. 6 models with the quad-S system will be launched over a period of 6 years starting Jan 2021, which will be targeting long-distance travelers and the middle-class crowd initially. Our USP will ensure that the safety of the customers is our utmost priority. We will be marketing a product through various methods such as social media, TV commercials, and website promotions in an online mode. In the offline mode, we will be setting up billboards at relevant places, car displays at malls and stadiums, and would be involved in partnership deals with different businesses to expand our reach even more. We are analyzing each of our 6 car models, which will be having specifications mentioned in the 4 Ps, including the quad-S system as a USP. There will be annual schemes where we will drop our prices below to all our competitors in order to attract more customers. We initially plan to target the tier 1 and 2 cities and expand our reach by marketing in terms of advertisements as well as sales promotion. Since we are a new product in the existing market with high competition, in order to stand out, we will be required to work on R&D and gradually transform the current market model. Moving on to the timeline from the launch of Stellantis Jan 2021, we will be releasing a first model, that is Model A, in the Indian market. In the next 2 years, 3 new models, Model A, Model B, C, and D will be launched. With a jump in the year 2024, we plan to reach out to the international market as well and target a higher audience range. To cope up with the advancements in technologies, we have planned that we will be stepping into the electric world in the same year as we launch a first EV model. Along with that, in order to settle well in the international market, we will be updating models by releasing various versions so as to match the customer requirements as well as the demand of technology. Moving on to 2026, that will open doors for the autopilot model once we have attained success in all other domains. So this is the financial plan of a model wherein we have counted the sales for years till 0 to 6, the total cost, and which involves the registration, which involves the production cost and all other factors. And the net income is as follows. We are aiming at 17 billion rupees after till year 6. In year 6. And expenditure breakdown is as follows. So in the first part, the car models, we have shown model A to F, the initial pricing of the model is the sales increments per year and the units sold. All the assumptions are listed in the right hand table, as well as the detailed breakdown of the expenditure of the where are we spending, how much amount is listed in the table over here. And that includes utility, electricity, rent, number of showrooms, and all other factors you can see. Moving on to a business model, I'll brush you through this. This includes the key manufacturers as well key partners. We'll be focusing high on R&D and also marketing through various channels like social media, ensuring that we are able to satisfy a VP of providing good transport at affordable rates. Customers have been segregated into 4 categories: income-based as well as model-based. The cash outflow will mainly be in the form of production cost as shown in the financial table, and the source of income is the sales of our models in Indian as well as international market. Here we have highlighted the Porter's 5 forces and how will these affect our company. Since there are a large number of suppliers in the automobile industry, we would be facing a lot of challenges there. But when speaking of competition, there exist well-established competitors like Muruti and Konda, which might hinder our company. Customers do have a bargaining power and can switch to different brands if they find a better value for money. So we believe that threat of substitution will be a big problem for us since the automotive industry is a huge industry in itself. And no matter how affordable public transport becomes, but a good part of population will still opt for private commute. Since we are the sixth largest automobile worldwide, having a large manufacturer base will help expanding in India. As well as having a prior experience in India, we aim at meeting our customer requirements in a better fashion than we did in the earlier phase when we had a company launched in India. Starting at a lower price, we tend to attract more customers initially and create brand recognition. And on the timeline, we are launching electric models which will control the spike in prices of petroleum. These 6 models satisfy different price ranges, catering to all the categories of customers we have. Here we have pestle analysis. We have covered the political, economical, social, technological, legal, as well as environmental standpoints of the automobile industry that will affect our company. Due to emerging taxes, the industry will see hike in prices since government has a control over import and export. We may as well issue a patent of some of our features such as the coveted system. Also, advancements in technologies like the artificial intelligence will encourage self-driving technology in cars, further reducing the risk of accidents. Talking about technology, the welcoming reception of the electronic models will contribute to a step towards carbon neutral society. Being in the fourth industrial revolution, we expect a great advancement in technology in the coming years. This is definitely subject to the scenario of the automobile industry in the next 7 years. But yeah, we have planned to introduce the concept of airless wheel and ethanol powered cars, also contributing to a step towards protecting our environment as well as issuing ESOP and issuing the IPOs. Yeah, I'll be concluding the presentation with the same line I started with, that transportation will continue to be a necessity in the world we live in. Thank you, and we are open to questions now.
Thanks for the presentation, Vineet.
Yeah.
Why is ESOP and IPO a future scope for you? As in, why do you think it is necessary for the company to grow to get a IPO or an ESOP?
Because for an IPO listing, we do think that currently when we are starting, we are beginning. So as and when we grow, we reach to a stage, we are successful in the Indian market. We have launched 6 models that we have shown, as well as we have reached in the international market. So then we are at a stage wherein we can list out the IPO, and then we can go about it.
You're already an international company, right?
Right, but then we have to make sure that we are expanded in India as well as in the international market.
How will an IPO help? That is what I'm trying to understand. Why do you think that an IPO will help in the expansion?
IPO may not help in the expansion, but it will definitely improve the image of the companies, what we're thinking, and that is why we have listed it in the future scope. So we are definitely planning to list an IPO, but yeah.
Okay. My second question is why? So how did you arrive at calculating these costs for your, as in the price points for your models? Because one of the problems that I see with a 7 lakh cost for your base model is that when you guys tried earlier entering into the Indian market, that was one of the key points that was the pressing issue for the company's failure in India market. So reintroducing at a price as high as 7 lakhs, where there are competitors which are selling at 3-4 lakhs, for example, a Maruti or a Konda, that might be challenging. So how did you arrive at that 7 lakh price point? And how do you justify that?
Yeah, so allow me to share the finance sheet which we have prepared. Just a second. Is it visible?
No, no, you might have to reshare. Yeah, it's visible
Yeah,
now.
it is
Yeah,
visible.
okay. So here are the car models. As you said, 7 lakh. These are the prices we have listed for the car models we will be releasing. So as you said, 7 lakhs. So we have taken these figures estimates from the you might know the Kia model which was released recently in years. So we have taken those figures according to that well already successful established car company. And all these figures, these have been researched in reference to some or the other car company which has been already successful in India as well as the other factors. And so from there we came to a point that 7 lakh, 12 lakh and so on could be good prices. And to a second question which said that okay there are competitors Maruti and Honda which are doing it at 3 or 4 lakhs. So we are particularly targeting the market sector as shown in the pyramid. We are particularly targeting the 4 layers, and according to that, the people who can afford the 7 lakh car will be opting for that. And so, yeah, so we have stated the finances according to that, so that we cater to the target market accordingly.
And how do you estimate the unit sold in the year?
Unit sold as that, as well as we have considered from the car company Kia, as well as some the Maruti as well. So a rough estimate of if we are launching if we are opening the launching the car company Belantis in Jan 2021. So what would be estimated sales in the say in the first year? So that would be around 770,000 if assuming the first year the initial pricing is 7 lakh, and so on is a unit sold at launch per year.
Okay, Mukund,
Yeah. Staying on your car models, Vineet, and first of all, thank you for your presentation. So staying on your car models, any reason why you are launching, you're starting with a 7 lakh rupee model, and I think in the second or third year, you are also launching a 50 lakh rupee model.
Yeah.
Conventionally, car companies do not do that, right? If you see a brand like Maruti or Maruti would be focused towards the budget segment, and someone like a Honda or a Skoda would be concentrated towards the upper or a bit of a luxury segment. So, any reason why you have done that, and follow up to that, how would you ensure that your company develops expertise in both the market segments?
Yeah, so I would first of all in the first 2 years we have targeted we have wanted the middle class pen would be involved in our product so that we gain more customers and in that sector. So first we are not focusing on the model D, that is a luxury model of 50 lakhs. We'll be launching that in the year 3. The first 2 years are completely focused on the people, the middle class men who can afford cars till 7 lakh or even 12 lakh in so that just we get the brand recognition. Moving on to then coming to the third year, as we are a sixth largest automaker as well, and we are trying to expand into international market as well. Then we'll be focused more on making profits and going into the domain of luxury cars as well as sports cars that cater to 50 lakh. Now, obviously, middle class men will be able to afford this. So this is only targeted towards the higher sector, the fourth layer in the topmost layer in the pyramid, which we showed. So yeah, we are going about it that way. Then first we'll be targeting the middle class population, and then moving on, we'll be focusing on making profit since this is a business company, and yeah, we'll be targeting the higher population.
Okay, cool. I think we are out of time. So, okay. Thanks, Vineet.
Yeah, thank you so much.
thanks, Vineet.
So shall I stop sharing?
Good
Yep.
presentation. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks, Vineet and Team Incognito, for this very insightful presentation. Now, let me move on to the next team. Team Chocolate, can you please share your screen and raise your virtual hands?
Yeah, just a minute. I'm sharing my screen right.
Yep.
Can we begin?
So, yeah, you guys are ready, right?
Yeah. Navina,
Yeah.
are you ready? Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're audible. You can start.
A very warm afternoon to one and all present here. Today, me, Divya, and Navina from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Hyderabad, are here to present our strategy case solution presenting CIAT by Team Chocolate. To begin with, CIAT would be the latest brand offering from Palantir in India. CIAT would be targeting the aspire segment of the population, those who are tech savvy and fashion conscious, working and wanting to their car to reflect their personality. So how did we arrive at our segment and our target market? To define and segment our target market and the segment that the brand would be focusing in, we looked at data through secondary research, newspaper articles and reports. We also spoke to automobile dealers and designers, as well as conducted a survey. Looking at the survey right now, we asked our respondents if they owned a car and if yes, which category, and if no, what would they buy. We noticed a shift in consumer trend from hatchbacks to compact SUVs. We also asked them if they considered owning an electric car an advantage, and a whopping 92% of them actually said yes. Majority of them also said that they'll be willing to buy the flagship model of a car in India. We also asked them about the preferences of factors and prices. The segment first we thus arrived at was the compact SUV segment, which was the fastest growing segment in the Indian market in 2021. And our ideal target consumer would be city dwellers and urban population, adventurous, those who go on road trips and are looking for innovation and something new. They'll be progressive nuclear families looking to buy their first car.
CIAT would be a brand for the younger generation having strong focus on innovation and design, and the main aspect would be less cost and high value when compared to the competitors. CIAT will be a key player in the Indian electric vehicle market with the pilot launch in India of Cherry model and including both petrol and EV variants. Cherry would be completely built from scratch in India because of high tax brackets of CBU and CKD. The manufacturing plant is set up at PX previous production facility at Ranjangaon in Maharashtra. The cluster model manufacturing would be important to set up production and assembly interconnected geographically, and will also have hubs and spokes model for distribution. The main reason for the failure of PIAT was the total dependency on Tata for sales and services and low brand image due to a lack of new car models, bad services, and market requirements were not matching. For example, a premium segment competed with Mercedes and Mini Cooper. CIAT will be different by having more focus on parent brand related partnerships and having strong fleet of cars. Resale value and buyback guarantee policies that are good for people and the planet. The value bundle will be similar for both fuel and EV variants, including a premium leather covers, infotainment system, and stereo music. Safety will be a priority with features like electronic stability, control occupant safety, monitoring, fatigue detection, and emergency braking. CIAT will offer a buyback guarantee up to 10 years from purchase and benefits for upgradation from Cherry to another CIAT car in future. The tax benefits and favorable finance banking policies have been listed out here. Next slide.
Cherry will be a 5-seater with 6 airbags with safety features like brake assist, traction control, and techno leather steering system with sound controls and a 7-inch infotainment screen. Features like intelligent driving mode with cruise control, lane assist, and traffic sign recognition have been introduced, keeping in mind what consumers want. The mileage would also hence be 16 to 22 kilometers per liter and 312 kilometers per charge.
CIAT will pilot launch in India with flagship Cherry and later grow to 8 cars in 5 years, and it will focus on brand penetration, establishing itself as a key player in EV market using strategic tie-up with petrol stations and setting up charging infrastructure. The pre-launch marketing will include a partnership with sports tournaments, fashion shows, and pop-up displays in mall to create interest. SEAT will also be sold in Palantir's other offerings in India like Jeep and Citroen to minimize cost. Next. The launch timeline will be as follows. Month 1 to 6 will focus on groundwork, setting up of factory, trial manufacturing and employee training. Month 6 to 8 will be building a database of all franchise dealers and finalizing location. And month 9 to 12 will be extensive marketing with pre-launch events and pre-bookings for brand visibility, and then the grand launch of SEAT Cherry.
The distribution strategy will be an indirect one-level channel through company-owned stores and dealers and franchisees. Selective distribution will be the option, with exploring the possibility of automobile department stores, which we predict are the model of sales of the future. With an immersive website and an omnichannel model of sales, for service, we'll have tie-ups with startup companies and help to increase the demand, as we saw service was a problem. So that is why initially will depend on strategic tie-ups. Looking at incentives, multiple channels will be targeted with multiple separate incentives. The automobile manufacturers to consumers will include, but not limited to, purchase incentives, cashbacks, non-cash, merchandise and test drive opportunities. From the manufacturer to dealers, there will be cash, coupons and packages, as well as workshops to teach them to increase rapport with consumers. Dealers will be free to offer exceptional service and value. Aftermarket promotions will be based on the purchase volume and would be through wholesale dealers to installers. Promotional merchandise with a wholesale dealer logo and the training programs will follow a recognize and reward strategy. The advertisement strategy would involve brand building and loyalty programs.
Marketing strategy would involve a digital approach with quickie content and cheesy taglines to connect with new age consumers. The campaign will focus on interactive websites and games, and these are the advertisements which we made for our car Cherry. Next slide.
If you can notice, they are very cheesy and play a word play on cherry and SEAT and the whole chocolate. They have the team thing.
The 5-year plan of SEAT would include research, investing in research and development and grow a fleet of 8 models and establishing itself as a market leader in compact SUV and SUVs. It will also look to introduce different models in different segments like sedan. And SEAT will grow to 600 authorized showrooms and 250 company-owned service centers. 5-star NCAP crash test safety ratings, and also to promote the growth and sales of EV vehicles. And we'll also set up the local manufacturing clusters in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Gujarat. So we have made a perception mapping of SEAT with competitors with high features and minimal price. The gap analysis was done to identify the features preferred by consumers. They are brand identity, safety, price, service, and maintenance.
We also did a map. We also mapped out a SWOT analysis and understood that the strengths were the warranty and coming from the parent brand of Palantir in India. We also have an advantage of having fuel-based and electric vehicle catalog. The weaknesses would be yet to establish a strong brand image, as well as for a new brand, there might be mixed response for the single pilot launch that we are targeting to. The threats would be like limited dealers for SEAT when compared to other competitors in the initial stages, and the increasing competition in the market would be ruthless. The opportunities are that there is a huge gap in the electric compact SUV segment market, which is a relatively new electric market in India with strong government support. The fast-growing Indian market and the percentage of a specific target market in the overall population provide huge opportunities for growth. Now, looking at the financials pan out in the following manner. We'll be pricing the EV variant at 14 lakhs and the petrol variant at 10 lakhs. According to the present market numbers, we expect 1 lakh models of SEAT Cherry to be sold in the first year, which are split equally between both the variants, the petrol and the electric vehicle variant. Using the cost, which is data taken by according to industry standards, we arrived at the following calculations at the end of 5 years with an assumption of 10% discount rate and adjusted inflation of 2% of the car parts per year. After calculating the cash of cost inflows and outflows, we thus arrive at an NPV of 24,615 crores at the end of 5 years, an IRR of 33%, and the payback period spans out to be 2.7 years. The assumptions that we have considered are that the names of real life brands have been changed, and we have a brand cheat sheet at the end, and all the prices that are shown here are showroom prices and without road tax. The calculations and data collected were as per present available market data of other competitive brands. We have thus come to an end of our presentation. Thank you for listening to us and for the opportunity.
Great, thanks, Team Chocolate. Thank you for the presentation. I'll start with a few questions. First, any particular reason why you're getting into both electric and petrol model right from the start? Why would you not want to focus on only one?
So it is according to the parents' band vision of Belandis, which says that by 2030, 50% of all of its brand offerings will be electric vehicles. But even our survey was very positive towards electric vehicle. But for a fall-proof safety net is why, because SEAT, the predecessor, the PIAT was known for its strong diesel engines. So we still have an advantage over fuel engines, and that is why we are having a safety net in the sense that we're offering both petrol and electric vehicles from the beginning. It's to play on our strengths.
Okay, got it. But wouldn't that mean that you have to spend double the efforts for R&D, double the efforts for production? The supplier base would be very different. The market would be very different. The way you sell would be very different. So basically, it will double your efforts. And you're... Yeah, sorry.
Please continue. Yeah, please continue.
No, I was just trying to say that you're trying to hedge your bets also by playing on your strengths, but that will involve a lot of efforts. So how do you plan to counter that?
We do understand that it involves a lot of efforts, but also looking at other competitors like Tata and Nexon who are playing both in EV and the petrol variant. So we are confident that as a new brand with a strong parent brand banking, like Stellantis, coming from the house of Stellantis, we have enough resources at our disposal to gradually phase out fuel vehicles. But initially, we want to give an opportunity for the market to actually choose if they still want to go with the petrol model and they're very skeptical, they're a little conservative. We want to have an option for them also. And that is why the same model in two variants is what we are placing our bets on.
Okay. One last question from me. What was the reason behind introducing the buyback program?
The reason behind introducing the buyback programs was that we saw our data, like there isn't other fields relatively have been introducing sustainability efforts as its core, and consumers these days are very conscious about the impact of environment and sustainability. So as a new company which is offering, we want to be very sustainable at our core. And also looking at it, buyback will also give us an opportunity to have something like Maruti's True Value, in which we'll be able to further resell our own cars, also helping to push up the resale value in the market, as well as it will give us our own cars back. With that, we can either take the parts and resell or do sustainability initiatives as per our disposal.
I did not get how is sustainability involved with buyback.
Sustainability is involved in buyback because a majority of cars that are manufactured never actually return back to where they started from. Like this life cycle is incomplete. So if the brand gets control of whatever cars that we are manufacturing, as a manufacturer, it will help us to further recycle the vehicles or break down it or even resell. Like the 3R policy, we can actually involve. So that is why the buyback guarantee will also be advantageous to the consumers. Like when they are buying a car, they know that if they are upgrading to another model in future and the brand has a buyback guarantee. As a consumer who is very conservative and not very risk taking, so I'll prefer to buy a car from a brand that gives a strong buyback guarantee. So I know that my vehicle will be bought back at the end of the life.
And you think you will be able to provide better prices than the open second-hand car market?
Yes, sir, according to condition of the car. Yes.
Okay.
It should be an
Cool.
effort from the brand. Yeah. For
Cool.
consumer loyalty.
Got it. Thank you. Kartavya.
Great presentation, guys. First of all, I think quite detailed. One thing continuing on Mukund's thought is you've added a lot of incentives, a lot of R&D, and a lot of marketing, and I could not see expenses pertaining to those in your financials. So have you accounted for those when you're calculating the costs of the model?
Actually, so if you notice, we have calculated the costs which are which involve the marketing budget but doesn't involve the other financial costs. So we have a at the end of these calculations, we have a 43% revenue which is going to be in our hands. So from that, we'll be subtracting all the other things that we said, and we're looking at a final profit percentage of like 11%, which is according to industry standards.
So have you done that? So that this 11% profit percentage includes your cost of all these buybacks and incentives and everything?
Yes.
That's all subtracted, you're saying? Okay. So 11% is net profit, you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. One last question. I know the time's up. Is how did you arrive at the timeline? You have said that you will introduce the brand in 1 year, and it will take 4 to 6 months to set up. So is that 4 to 6 months calculation based on some assumptions, or is that a random number?
I'm just trying to go back to the slide. It's actually according to present market data of other brands that recently entered in India, including Kia and the Stellantis other brand, which was recently launched in India, it's the Citroen. So based on those two models, we identified. Also, since we already own a production facility at Ranjangaon, which is still not closed, it's functioning. We looked at the data, so that is why we think we already have a plant ready, and the 6 months are enough to restart production per se. Since we also already have R&D, everything set up. So.
Fair. Good presentation, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. I've stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah, you can do that. Thanks, Team Chocolate. That was a very insightful and a very detailed presentation. Thank you for that. Next up, I'd like to invite Team Dawn to present their business solution to the judges.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, team, can you just raise your virtual hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it visible right now?
Yeah, is it visible? Team Chocolate, can you please lower down your virtual hands? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Nitin, you can raise your hand now. Nitin and Shivansh.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Nitin Shukla from Team Dawn and my other teammate Shivansh Swarnagar, and we are representing Acropolis Institute of Technology and Research. So first of all, I would like to thank Team aSPire for organizing such a wonderful and amazing event. Now we are going to start our PPT. So first of all, I would like to give a brief overview of our presentation. So Fiat Automobiles is an Italian American company which has a revenue of around $108 billion, and it stopped manufacturing in 2019 due to some reasons. There are the reasons like immature Indian car market, high competitions, and unavailability of spare parts and low income level of Indian car market. So in recent years, Stellantis Group is found, which is a merger between Fiat Marcel Automobiles and the French MSA Group. Say they are now planning to come back in Indian market. The challenges for them are the target market segmentation. They need to identify what are their target market and what they need to offer value bundle package, and they also need to work on their launch plan and distribution and future plan and financial distribution model. So now coming to the Indian car market overview. India has a sixth largest automobile company, and India has a lucrative market, which and in recent years, or the expected CAGR of the Indian automobile industry is 6.94, and in India there are 22 cars per 1,000 people are there. So there is a huge untapped potential in Indian car market, which is very lucrative and attractive to companies and to get the benefit from the Indian market. And in recent years, it is observed that the SUV car segment has witnessed a lot of the growth. Like in recent years, it is achieved the growth percentage is around 50%, which is a very great to work in that segment. we are planning to so we have also conducted a recent survey in Acropolis among the students from Acropolis and nearby colleges from Indore, and we to understand and to deeply understand about what's the people's choices about the Indian car market. So we found out that around 70% of the participants are preferring upper class middle segment, or are preferring SUVs over other car segment, and around 8 in 10 people want a new brand cars over existing brands, and 3 out of 5 people want a new brand to enter in the Indian car market, and around 3/4 people are not satisfied with the current value bundle package. They are like more like they are expecting more value bundle package from the from the recent car market. So we from the survey we concluded, and like in the recent stats, it shows that the SUV car segments are more selling compared to the other segments, and upper class segment is preferring more SUVs car over the hatchbacks and sedans. So there is a need in Indian car market there to offer a value bundle package along with the SUV car segment to the upper middle class segment. And in the recent year, it is observed that the SUV car segment is sales are also increasing. So there is a huge potential in that area, and we also want to connect with Indian customers, like to the brand which they are going to purchase are designed and manufacturing in India. Through that we can connect the Indian customers emotionally also. So, yeah, so the value bundle package we are going to offer, like in SUV segments, like there is a need, like in India there is our digital now India is going to more digitally advanced, and there is also a time to make our vehicles more smart. So we are going to offer a integrated eSIM through which we can they can get uninterrupted services with high speed internet. And we also want to offer value bundle packages along with the different hill assistance features, electronics integrated systems, and different sunroofs and the fog glass, and all this package on all these offers we want to bundle that and offer to the customers. And along with that, we are also going to offer services, and like in we are also want to offer the cars value services. Like first we want in car service package, we want first 5 services would be the free, and we also start a subscription based model like a gold and platinum model, in which we offer different like in gold model there would be some basic we will cover all the basic, and in platinum we will offer more high-end services to the customers, and we will offer the 3 years of the warranty, and there is also a feature of extended warranty of 2 years. Along with that, we will also offer the free subscription of the different applications for 1 year, like the different Apple Music and different platforms. And along with that, we Park Plus app and different we offer to free to the customers, and it will be all included in the car package. Now I would like to call Shivansh for his part.
Thank you, Nitin. So we are talking. So we are talking about the first launch plan of the car. A launch plan should be simple. Like we first need to host a pre-event. Like we need to launch our vehicle in a kind of auto expo where we can showcase our product for the first very time and get some good reviews from the industry experts to create a hype around it. And then we can move to the second stage. Like we can organize our very own launch event in the Delhi, Mumbai, and major cities, where we can invite some mega Bollywood stars to get a really good image of a new brand which is coming, and to regarnish our lost which we left in India. Launch event. And after that, we will focus on social media marketing. That we need to rope in some really good influencers, especially in the automobile domain, which with the help of which we can get some good reviews of our vehicles. As you can see that there are 500,000 audience which are daily watching or have subscribed and kind of automobile channels on Instagram or YouTube. And there are daily active users, 50,000, which are daily viewing this kind of car selling problems. So after that, we can focus on the TV commercial areas, which the areas which we cannot cover with the help of our social media. so that we can target our audience with the help of our TV commercials. And we can also add Indian values for the advertisements so that people will feel more connected with our commercials. And then after, we can provide a good car after sales value, that we can create a brand name so that our customers will be satisfied. And with the help of more publicity, we can convey our idea of selling vehicles. The customer research areas which we have identified right now is social media. Like a customer first research about a car, then he will go with the 4 points, especially social media, or the dealer interaction, or the brand car name, and that's it. Now moving to the next slide. I think this, yes. So we need to have good really assembly plant setup area. I think for the assembly plant setup area, so that we can create our automobile industry journey like smooth, we need a really good favorable location like Chennai, which is the Detroit of India, which we can help out to create. And especially Chennai, because our target segment SUV segment, and the Chennai is a really good area for manufacturing SUV vehicles. And and for a good requirement, and for the assembly plant to be very good enough to be cost effective, good connectivity, friendly government policies, and proximity to the supplier. So the Chennai and Tamil Nadu government has many policies, and there are many large number of tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers for the automobile industry. And we have decided 3 pathways to set up our assembly plant. First is expand an old plant, like we can expand our very own old plant which we were used in the past. Or second, the buy an abandoned plant, like in 2019 Ford company like Ford is going to abandon this Chennai plant, so we can purchase that out. Or third, we can invest in a new plant from the scratch, so that we can build a really good out of plant. And next, focus in after setting up an assembly plant, we need to focus on the auto components. Like we need suppliers. There are 2 types of suppliers which we have identified. First is global suppliers, and second is local suppliers. Like global suppliers, we can make with the help of our global suppliers, we can help with them by investments, so that we can make major car parts in locally only, because of which it will help to reduce our cost cutting efforts, and we will provide a good value for the vehicles, which we do not want to repeat like in the past. And that's it. Our distribution strategy looks like, first we need to assemble our auto components from global and local suppliers. Then we will supply to the local assembly area. After that, we will after our finally finished product, we will supply it to the central warehouse. With the help of central warehouse, we can provide a central warehouse should be at a location which is centrally accessible all over the country. Like we can make use of central warehouse to go through the distribution areas, and that distribution areas will be cover the car showrooms and to the final end consumers. So we've identified this Chennai should be an assembly plant, and from that Chennai area, there is a auto hub rail in the Walajabad. From there, we can, with the help of rail mode of transport, we can transport it to Indore, which become our central warehouse area. So that because it is based in the central India, it has a good reachability to the Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata, and the other major cities. And in these major cities, we can create our distribution center, so that we can also supply to the tier 1 and tier 2 cities at the same time.
Team Don, so your time is up. If you can just quickly wrap it up.
I will wrap it. Okay. Just you can just liquid around that. Dealers are a really important part of the car dealership, because after manufacturing the car, or dealers.
Sorry, Shivansh, I think what you can do is maybe just move to the next slide. I think we'll read through it quickly and.
Okay.
Continue with the Q&A.
Okay, so this is our 5-year plan, which we can set up manufacturing in the areas, include more dealerships, and in the second year we will
move on.
Launch satellite node vehicles in multiple segments, and then vehicle technology leaders.
All right, next.
Yes, and due to the time constraint, we cannot complete our revenue part. And that's it. Thank you for our side. And this is time for the question answers.
So, guys, good presentation. I think quite a thought has gone into this. I'll start with one of the questions that I had in mind was, why do you feel internet is a necessity in your car? As in, why do you want your car to be globally connected? Sorry,
Okay,
connected
internet
every time.
connected. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
internet
because
connected.
it has many features also. Like in today's world, since people are really connected with the internet, they will get more features like listening music in their uh, uh, it's like you can use your application like Spotify, and you can also use some applications like Park Plus to pre-book your parking spots like that. And also as as a brand like of thing, as today's technology is ever evolving, we can also make use of technology to get a good review of our cars. Like we can provide some sensors which will detect that how the car is working right now, and we can get a report in the internet format online, so that we can analyze where the car is working right now, how much it works, and we can give
Do you
good
think it can cause a
efficiency.
distraction to the customers, considering, as in, the ever-ending debate about using mobile phones is
Yeah,
actually a security risk
definitely. It
in
can
cars?
also increase kind of privacy issues and also the internet usage issues on the
How
kind
do
of
you plan to tackle those?
actually
I
it's
understand that you want a connected car for better services, but how do you plan
definitely
to tackle those?
actually we can tackle, like we can detect like how much speeding of car. If a car is stable right now,
No,
if
no,
a car is
I
up.
get the benefits.
Okay.
I get the benefits, Shivansh. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want
yeah.
you to tell me, how do you tackle the cons that are associated with having a connected internet?
Oh, so it's like we need to tell people that first of all, we will kind of use some safety features, which kind of, if a car is moving, it's a high speed, a person can only specific make use of limited number of features. Like we have to tell people that not to use mobile phones while driving. It's the same thing with our vehicles also, like so that we can at least reduce, because we cannot deny technology can change ourselves. So we
Okay.
have to first of all, yes.
Got it. Convincing. Go back to your finance slide once. What is
Okay.
the price point that you're setting for the car?
Actually, car price fund which was decided was 13 lakhs to 25 lakhs. Because as
13
a
lakhs to 25 lakhs.
yes, because
Yeah. Give me the justification.
yes,
Why do you
because
think 13 lakhs?
if we are making comeback and we are targeting upper middle class segment, so we want to make a profit on the shurvat in the first beginning of the part of our years, so that a proper car which we can turn into to profit with this number of features must be of 13 to 15 lakhs. And after that, with the help of that profit, we can afford to build 7 to 10 lakhs vehicles in the intermarket. But for the starters, we was looking for 13 lakh was the base price of a vehicle.
So you're saying your price, what will be the cost price? Your cost price will be in the range of 7 to 13, and your selling price will be 13 to 25, you're saying?
Actually, it's our base price would be of selling to a consumer would be 13 lakhs to 25
Yeah.
lakhs.
And
Yes.
what will be your cost point?
And it will
How much will
cost
selling that? Yeah.
around, we were targeting of our selling kind of, you want to ask a cost price which you find manufacturing, or cost or the selling price?
No. I want to understand what kind of profits are you targeting? As in, what will be the cost of manufacturing that 13 lakh
Yeah,
variant?
actually, if it first calculated that in a bulk, if we create a manufacturing car which we want to sell for 13 lakhs, it would cost around 7 to 8 lakhs. And if we cut
Okay.
off all the
One last
profits,
question
yes, sir.
is, why do you think? I get that you want to become a manufacturer for your global suppliers.
Yes, sir.
Is that a correct understanding?
It's we want first of all, we want to make our global supply set up local supply chains, so that we can we can speed up our local manufacturing. Then we can move
And
on
by that, do you mean that you will manufacture for them, or you will just invite them to manufacture in India?
we will invite them to manufacture in India first,
Okay.
and then we will
Got
supply
it.
it. Okay.
Okay. Mukund, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'll just quickly ask one question on your distribution slide. So from what I understood, you want to manufacture in Chennai.
Yes, sir.
And then you have a central warehouse in Indore where you'll store automobiles as well.
Yes, sir. Definitely. The thing is to get our taken to travel from one area to different area. Like we can deliver to Delhi from Indore, which would much feasible, then to Chennai to Delhi direct. So it must be a
But where would you store your vehicles? Would you store them in Chennai? Would you store them in Indore?
no. I would store them in Chennai and Indore both. Like from Chennai, there is warehouse area. Like there is no limit on supplying vehicles. But from Indore, I want to just store only vehicles.
But why are you taking up an extra cost of holding your inventory in Indore? And
Yes, sir.
what is the issue of shipping cars directly from Chennai to Delhi? Like existing players would be doing it, right? Chennai has a lot of
Definitely, they are using the
manufacturers.
railway networks and the ship network also. But the thing is, they do have some warehouses like Gujarat in Maruti has some warehouses in Gujarat, and it is also establishing a warehouse in Northeast right now due to the connectivity issues. So we are targeting like. We definitely think it is a kind of extra cost, but it would be beneficial if we can have a good chain of transport and good feasibility area. Like we can just supply our vehicles in timely manner, and there will be no issues right now, like this only.
What you're trying to say is, I think Chennai to Delhi will take 3 days, and Indore to Delhi will take 1 day, and that
One
is
day,
why
definitely.
you want.
Like I do also want to draw, like due to time constraint, we were able to complete the PPT, but I do want to tell you that we want to add about the roadways about from Indore to Delhi, and this was the
No,
main
that's okay.
perspective was this
That
thing.
we understand. But I think one of the points that Mukund is trying to drive is you can essentially cut down the costs if you cut down the warehousing costs if you have warehouses in Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai itself, so that time to the final customer is reduced rather than time in your inter company
Yes, kind of,
shipments.
yeah,
All right.
definitely. Okay.
I think we can end the presentation, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Team Don. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Don. So moving on to the next team, that would be Team MECE. So yeah, team, if you could just raise your virtual hands. Yeah, I think we are ready. So you can just share your presentation. Yeah, team, your presentation is visible. You can start now.
Okay, so am I audible clearly?
Yeah.
All right. So, honorable judges, organizers, and fellow participants, a very warm good afternoon. I am Amanapur. I am here with Muskan and Anushri. We are Team MECE, and we are here with a solution on the case. So, let's get started. As per a list released by IQ Air on the top 20 cities with the highest air pollution levels, 15 out of those top 20 cities are from India. And out of the total air pollution, 27% is contributed by vehicles. At a time when the Indian EV industry is about to disrupt with an estimated CAGR of around 94.4% for the next 10 years, we are here with our strategy for Palantir to enter the Indian market. Next slide, please. Palantir should enter the Indian automobile industry with solar electric vehicles, targeting the upper and rich section of the country in the initial phase, and then expand as per the EV infrastructure development in the country. Opportunity, it has been predicted that the greenhouse emission could ascend by around 25 to 90% by 2030, and Earth could get hotter by 3 degrees in this century. So solar electric vehicles is one of the most encouraging innovations to decrease these emissions. So the key growth drivers for our product will be increasing demand for energy efficient alternatives to fossil fuels, and greater awareness among producers as well as manufacturers, and a constant effort to reduce the carbon footprint throughout. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Anishi. Yeah, coming to the market segmentation and our target
I'm sorry. Is Aman audible?
No, I don't think he's audible.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, Aman is not audible. Can the rest of either one of you continue?
Yeah, sure, I can. So for the market segmentation, we have decided that we will be first targeting the tier 1 cities, and wherein for the further classification, if we go up to the income levels, we'll take the middle, particularly the upper middle class and the rich segment, and that's how we have classified the entire market and taken the market which we will be targeting to be rich and the upper middle class. If we go ahead with the psychographic traits, we are expecting that the environmentalists and the early adopters will be, so environmentalists and the early adopters will have a greater say, and then the experimentists and the trend adopters will have the same. Moving ahead, if we go ahead with the proposed models, we'll be bringing in the market. Those will be 2 initially. Because we are venturing into a new segment, which is not very popular right now in India. We do not want to go ahead with so many models at first. So we have picked up 2 models, Helios Plus and Helios Platinum. Both of them are solar EV vehicles. The key difference between both of them will be with respect to some of the parts in the engine and the gear, along with the other one, that is the rapid charging, with the Platinum one will have and not the Plus one. Apart from that, the charging facilities provided to both of them will have been taken into they are taking into consideration all the kind of problems which EV charging can pose to people, because the government and the country does not have a lot of EV vehicle charging infrastructure. We have tried to incorporate solar charging, socket charging, and portable charging as well. We are not providing any portable chargers at the moment, but yeah, we will keep our cars compatible with other third-party portable chargers in the market. So this is an overview of the entire model that we are sharing and the value propositions on which we will be running. First, like I said, we will have a very convenient charging system. We are very much focused on being environment friendly. It's easy to drive. We will be saving a lot of fuel cost. It's low maintenance. And of course, there will be unparalleled driving experience. Given the price segment we are targeting, we were not going to compromise on the same. When we move ahead to the distribution model, we are picking up the direct distribution model, and we are not keeping any third party in between for the initial phase. We'll start with from a manufacturing plant. Once all our parts are manufactured, the battery we are outsourcing for now. So we will get that assembled upon order. The same will be presented. We are having 2 distribution models which are direct. One is Helios website and the other one is Helios showrooms, which we are targeting to open in tier 1 cities, 6 cities. Eventually, we'll plan out for the initial years on which city we are picking up first. But yes, for the initial years, we are picking up only tier 1 cities. On the website, all the features and functions of the cars will be available. Customers will be able to book test drives, have an experience of what all features are available, get the test drive done, and place an order on the website itself. The same will be available on the Helios showroom, where they can book a test drive, come have an interaction with the sales executive and get the same thing done. And the customers can make a purchase. To keep the purchase hassle-free, from the website also, we are offering 3 delivery models: express delivery, direct delivery, and carrier delivery. Express delivery, the customers can come and pick up the car from the showroom itself. Direct delivery, the company is going to deliver the car at the doorstep and get all the paperwork done then and there. In case the customers do not stay in an eligible delivery location with the company's offering, we have the facility of carrier delivery, wherein the customer can book an independent carrier and get the car done, and which the company is totally going to felicitate for the same. Moving ahead to the marketing and the advertising part, we have a couple of aims which we wish to cater through this. So we want a product to be very much visible in the market. We are very much new, and to create that kind of brand image, we will require an extensive marketing. Then again, to get ahead with the new, we are trying to take the first mover advantage. However, there are a lot of companies right now who are venturing into EV. So we want to keep ahead, be ahead and at par with the competitors, wherein we'll be trying to do extensive marketing. Marketing will also help us do the entire market penetration to the tier 1 and tier 2 cities, and also a lot more in expansion, which we have planned in the next 5 years, which is covered in the last slide. Through this, we have also, through the customer journey analysis, we have tried to figure out what all marketing plans can be taken up. So for the awareness stage, we are going to go ahead with both online and offline. Like we said, we have two distribution models. So we will take care of both online and offline. Once the customers have reached our website and are trying to go ahead, we want to make it a little more personalized. We will equip them with all the offers that we are giving them, all the facilities that a car has on our website or in our showrooms. The customers can also reach out to us through our virtual and physical assistants. We will be trying to start a hotline or a WhatsApp bot, which is more convenient for the customers. So that's how all the queries and everything, and we will be trying to convert our deal. Once a deal is almost able to convert, the customers usually want to have test drives and all the pre-booking services. So once all those are done and the customer has purchased the car, we will try to give them the best of customer services, because not only because they are from the premium sector, had they been from any other sector, the services would have been the same. And also we will be offering a couple of loyalty programs, rewards, discount upon the level in the incoming years. So the last bit about the branding and positioning, like we said, the positioning in the market will be as a state-of-art technology. We are entering in the market as a new technology for the Indian market. It is going to be environmental friendly. We are targeting the premium and the futuristic point of view customers. And of course, it is going to be a hassle-free EV ride, because the main issue of the EV, which is charging, we are trying our best to take care of that. Our main advertising platforms will contain of television, movie halls, digital marketing, and of course, billboards, which is available, which is in a view of two different kinds of consumers. For the left side of the slide, we have tried to cover the target market, which I already explained earlier, that the tier 1 cities will be for the initial year. Tier 2 cities, couple of them which we have marked, will be for the next, say, 5 to 10 years. And the rest of the India totally depends on the that time, CAGR, and so on. So from here, I would like to hand on to Muskan to take up the financials part.
So when we talk about the financial feasibility and pricing strategy, cost breakdown and profitability analysis marks of importance. There are three major divisions in any car: the uppermost or the visible layer, which includes the body, solar cells, and any customizations; the inner part or the steering, chassis, and manufacturing, which includes wheel, gear shafts, seats, and doors; and the most important part of any vehicle, which are the brakes, tires, and suspensions. We have calculated the breakdown of the cost of manufacturing of a single car, which comes to approximately 17.5 lakhs, which is the raw material cost of the car. We also approximated some overhead costs, that is cost of manufacturing facilities, research and development, body customizations, and painting. When we talk about the COGS, which is approximately 60% of each car, the gross profit comes to 40%, and the net profit after deducting all the variable costs come to approximately 20% for each car. Next slide, please. For more clarity and sustainability, we projected the income statement analysis for the coming 5 years. The initial investment has been approximately 200 crores, which is based on the premise that PIAT, the base company, had a revenue of 108 billion euros in 2019. Operating expenses have also been accounted accordingly based on the competitors and the past automobile figures in India. Another assumption made here are the price and expense inflations taken into consideration. The budget, the break-even point has been achieved in the start of the 4th year, and the payback period is 5.2 years approximately. Next slide, please.
Muskan, so your time is up. If you could just quickly summarize your remaining slides.
Sure. So we talk about the strategical part of the growth plan of the 5 years. So we have seen that the revenue is doubling up in the next 5 years, with the sales unit also doubling up. And the impact scope has been increasing from the tier 1 cities to the tier 2 cities majorly. Other milestones that we are going to achieve are launching up attractive EMI schemes and collaborating with government in the first 2 years, then launching new models with battery swapping technology, and also introducing them on lease or rent. then we in the fourth year we can establish our own charging stations with bi-directional
Muskan,
charging facility and manufacture
let's go to the
spare
next
parts.
slide. Let's go to the
This
next
is the
slide.
last slide. This is the last
This is
slide.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we
So
have
post
read
the
it.
5-year period, yeah.
You already read
Sure,
it. It's all right.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Team Missy, for the great presentation. Few questions. First, a very basic question. So when you say a solar electric vehicle, you'll actually have solar cells on the car and which you'll use to charge the car's battery, right? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, we will have solar panels above the car. And along with that, not only solar, because there can be geographical issues with respect to solar charging. Not all places will have solar charging facility because of weather conditions. So we have tried to create other backup options as well for those.
So yeah,
kind of
the idea is that the rooftop will be fitted with solar panels, which will provide them for any like additional
Got
energy
it.
and additional mileage. Yeah.
Got it. But do you think this technology is mature enough? Is this technology readily available, and is it at a level where you can put it into mass production and sell it to consumers?
Yes. So for this, we have tried to understand a couple of companies and their models. So one of the key examples is Sono Motors. So what they're doing is they are kind of integrating this solar technology in different vehicles, not only cars, but also trucks, buses, and so on. So that was a key take, and there were several other companies which were doing it. Secondly, for the mass production, we are not going to kind of have a mass production beforehand before order, because we are new in the market and we are still trying to set up a new technology. We can have showroom displays and so on, but full cars will only be manufactured once on order. So we'll be having a pre-order pre-book value, pre-book time, and we'll take the time to manufacture the cars so that we are able to cater to the market at the
Yeah,
best.
like we agree this technology is at a nascent stage, but it is available now, and that is why we are segmenting the people who are early adopters of this new technology to be our suitable like target market initially.
Got it. Okay. One question on your distribution. Why did you decide to go with the direct distribution and not the conventional dealer-based model?
Yeah, so the reason for that is that as we are new in the market, though Palantir has its own brand value maybe outside, but in India we are re-entering. And given that it is a new technology, repeatedly, like we're saying that because it is new for India, so having that trust from the dealers, from the suppliers to a totally new based model will take us some time. So initially we want to start it on our own. We will set up our own showrooms for the tier 1 cities, and after say 5-6 years, once we have gained that kind of traction in the market, or the customers are preferring us, we can go ahead and then launch franchisees, dealerships, and so on, after building that trust. And once we have dealers on plate, because initially it is difficult to gather that. So yeah, that's why.
Okay. And another question on your distribution strategy: do you foresee customers directly booking vehicles through your website?
Because we are offering test drive facility from our nearest showrooms, which they can book through the website. Maybe they can, because the website will also enable them the option of different types of deliveries. So there is a chance that customers may do that. And Tesla, which is leading in this EV sector, has also enabled the same. So we took that motivation from there, that this is a good idea and we'll be able to cater to a larger variety of customers, given that we make our website that interactive. And maybe in years to come, say 7-10 years down the lane, when we have VR and AR also integrated, maybe we'll be able to give a more wholesome experience on our website. As of now, no, that kind of experience is not possible, but given metaverse is also coming into picture, it could be a possibility, and then the website could be revolutionary.
Got it. Tesla is operating in a very mature market, but okay, understood. Kartavya, do you have any questions?
Okay. I want to understand a couple of things, guys. One thing is, as a customer, I would not want to wait for the car to be produced when I give the order. And added to the fact that you have competitors who are selling the cars which are readily available, and they would also be in the EV segment going forward. We know that other car manufacturers are coming up with their EV models. So how will you attract the customers to go with your particular offering, given that you have a disadvantage of that your delivery time is higher than your competitors, and your cost, of course, is quite high?
So starting with the price part, since like based on our analysis, we came up with the conclusion that people, when the product is at an introduction stage and the target is early adopters, then price sensitivity is low. People will focus on what are the values that we are providing, which will give us a competitive edge over the competitors. So as we said, it is a trial phase initially. Like, we are planning to launch it in 23. We want to understand like what is the response to our product initially, how are customers and people responding, and if it works, sure, there is a scope of expansion given the financial resources and capabilities that Palantir has. But since it is just a test and trial phase, we are taking a prudent approach, you can say, just to test and see the response initially.
May I also add something to what Aman has said? Right. So
Because the time is up, if we can, Anushri, go.
We have also thought about this in detail regarding the time thing. So this is just for initial phase, like he said, and once the government has also, taken also takes on ground initiatives right now. A lot of them have been taken with respect to GST reduction and so on EV sectors. Once our country has kind of matured, the EV charging stations have been more prominent and customers start taking it, I think we will also go ahead with mass production. So it is just for initial phase that we are trying to do the pre-book system, because we have not included a lot of warehousing cost as of now, because it is a not very mature market. But we are sure that it will be, given that given the traction that EV sector is taking up. We all see that this is going to be the future.
Yeah, the models that we are proposing, that's also the two indicative models.
And what advantage does the solar charging provide to you guys? I just out of curiosity.
Anushri, if you could just go back to that slide about the product.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because solar, in terms of efficiency, is the lowest efficient mode of generating energy, so to speak.
Right.
Your availability of the sun.
The idea is we cannot be fully dependent on solar charging. That's the issue. But solar will provide you with additional mileage, and the cities and the temperature that India has, being a tropical country, like, it is suitable. If your vehicle can generate 40 to 50 kilometers of additional mileage just while you are driving because of the panels, then it's another efficient use of renewable sources of energy, right? So that's the idea. If people are, because that's the way forward. You have to look back, because nobody thought of the disadvantages when traditional cars were made, and it led to where we are now. So we are trying to fill in the loopholes and trying to rectify what are the problems that customers might face, so that they get a good customer experience, driving experience.
Fair enough. Thank you, guys. Good presentation.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead. Complete your thought already.
I was just saying that right now, as India does not have a lot of rapid charging station facilities, that's why if we look at the solar charging time, it is less than the conventional household plug which we will be using to charge our cars. So that way also it can give a little bit of edge. So I wanted to just bring out that point as well.
Fair enough. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Thank you, team MECE. That was a very insightful presentation indeed. So now moving on to the next team YOPNL. Can you please raise your virtual hands? You can go ahead and share your presentation.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, your screen is visible. You can start.
Okay. The Indian automobile industry is probably one of the largest industries and a key sector of the Indian economy. The automobile industry has been one of the prime industries in India. With that, a very good afternoon to the judges and everyone else present here. This is Team BioPNN with our product strategy plan for introduction of Atlantis into the Indian market. Before we begin, we wanted to give a quick content analysis. The first, we'll focus on the case overview. The second, we'll go to the market analysis. The third will be market strategy. The fourth will be the content plan that will include the target brand image and all the other competitors that we're already competing against. The fifth will be how we are planning to measure our success in terms of KPIs and our 5-year plan. The sixth and the final content is going to be all about our finances. Now, the case overview is very simple, like we were given. So Fiat Automobiles, French group, came together and formed Stellantis, which is the 6th largest automaker in the world. And they have decided to re-enter the Indian market, which is seeing a very great surge in the automobile industry. Now, the presentation aims to provide growth strategies and focuses on the 3 main aspects. The first will be the market segmentation, how we are planning to target a particular segment of market. The second will be our marketing strategies. And the third will all be about the financials. Now, before we start, just a quick analysis of the Porter's 5 forces, which is an analysis that helps us determine an industry's weakness and strength. So coming to the supplier power, as you can see, there are a large number of suppliers and the materials are widely accessible. So the competition in this industry is very high. And again, the amount of capital that will required will be large, as Stellantis has already an established reputation because it is deep. So the power is again high because the Indian industry is seeing a very strong surge in the automobile industry. So after this, I'm going to focus on the market segmentation. So we conducted a survey of people from all the different age groups, and the insights were that people in the range of 55 to 65 years preferred sporty and luxurious, who preferred a sporty and luxurious lifestyle, often preferred SUVs rather than the compact sedans and hatchbacks. So our target demographic will be people living between the ages of 55 and 65, as you can see by the survey. Now, the secondary research also is us of our primary research, and the Indian SUV sales have seen a surge of around 24.4% growth in the last 5 financial years. And in the last year, we have seen more than 6.8% SUVs sold in the second quarter. So going by that, we have decided to target the 55 to 65 years demographic, and we have decided to go for an SUV model. Now, coming to a user persona, which helps us understand the key traits, key behaviors, and key goals of our average user, we have created a user persona. A user persona will somewhere be, user persona of our users will somewhere be around the 55 to 65 years, and someone who already has owned a previous car will be our main user persona, and someone who purchases a lot of things local but does all the research beforehand. So this is what we have come up with, the user persona. Now my teammate will carry from here.
Yeah, so we did plan upon a customer journey map. So we begin with customer awareness, which includes seeing a company advertisement in either billboards or in social media. Then a customer usually considers what car he should buy. For that, he does research and goes for a test drive. Then finally, he makes his choice, makes a payment, and other important things include services and loyalty programs. So a customer usually demands good after-sale services and loyalty programs, which are exclusive to the car company is buying. Next slide, please. Yeah, so typically for market entry, a company enters into a market importing its products from other countries and then sets up a distributor network. After that, the company proceeds licensing and franchising its patents and then goes for strategic alliances and joint ventures. For example, we had the alliance of Ford. And then finally, the company goes for a foreign direct investment, sets up its own manufacturing plants and its own showrooms. Next slide. Yeah, so here are marketing strategies. We'll typically focus on social media, emails, and ads. because the customers usually research online nowadays. And so we'll focus on social media and search engine optimization, because ranking higher in search engine result page, SERP, will give us quite a traction. And then we'll also focus on FOMO marketing, which is fear of missing out. So 56% of the people are afraid of missing important deals, events, and news if they don't keep an eye on the social networks. So that's kind of the strategy which Apple followed with iPhones, and we aim to replicate that. So for distribution, we'll be focusing, we'll be having our own showrooms in malls and shopping plazas and high traffic retail venues. This is because when people usually buy a car, they prefer the ones they have been using for years. So if we adopt a dealer distributor model, nobody will give attention to us. So that's why we focus on malls and shopping plazas, and that also like kind of suits with the user persona we have in mind. So urban areas get better market segment to target. Next slide. So we listed down the factors considered while making a purchase. India is a very price sensitive market, but it does not mean that only cheap product works. Customers usually focus on fuel economy, purchase costs, and comfort and safety, all of which will be provided with an Paletis SUV. And we made needs analysis and decided what needs do customers focus on, and we have focused on our car value bundle like the same. Yes, Ashwin, you got it.
So moving forward, the target brand image based on the considering the factor from last slide will be laid on three main pillars, which are customer focused brand, futuristic brand, and strong build. So now let us discuss the roots of each pillar. First is customer focus. It will be achieved by offering all fuel types, which is petrol, diesel, CNG, and EVs in future, offering multiple engine or powertrains to customers so that they can get a good balance between performance and efficiency, both in terms of running and cost. Next is futuristic approach. It will be it will be done by offering all the new age features of comfort and safety, like steering, mounting control, rooftops, ventilated seat, infotainment, ADS, and all. And other than that, we will also be working on then alternative fuels, which are EVs, hydrogen fuel cells, and in between them, which are hybrid plugins and EV range extended etc. Next is strong brand image, like by targeting 4+ safety rating and offering all the necessary safety features, which is like airbags, ADS, payload control, corner stability, and all. Next, please. This is the competitor analysis. Here we have compared our competitors, four major competitors, which are Maruti Suzuki, Honda, Tata Motors, Mahindra. The key competitive advantage of following are like Maruti has vast distribution network, Honda has tried and tested international products, Tata has localized supply chain, and Mahindra has a stronghold in the fleet market. Next is target market, like next is target market, like Maruti target on hatchbacks and sedan mainly with 45% of market share. Honda target on hatchbacks and compact SUV have 18% market share. Next is Tata and Mahindra, which target on compact SUV and has 12 and 18% respectively share. We will target on compact SUV and target to have 5% market share in next 5 years. These are the products and services offered by each brands, and we will like to offer 5 car models in next 5 years with an insurance and maintenance services. The strength and weaknesses of each company are listed. Our strength will be years of experience and tried and tested in international products. The weakness is we have no brand loyalty and a weak dealer network initially, which will try to rectify. Next is the opportunity. As we will initially have limited products, we can limited products, we can focus on all our resources on them. And next is threats, increasing competition in SUV segment. There's general coming out to trend. There's a general trend of increasing SUV, liking of SUV, demand of safer cars, and transition towards alternative fuels. Next. Here are the KPIs, which is delay inventory outstanding manufacturing cycle time, EBITDA, recall rate, yield, and product volume. So these are the main focus. Next, please. We'll just bind it up. Here's a 5-year plan, which is like in year 1, we will do planning and idealization. Year 2, launching and marketing. Third will be expanding network. Fourth will be R&D investment, and fifth will be establishing the relations. Last slide, financial, that will be explained by OJAS.
So financials, we took a pretty generous discount rate of 15%. Since we are a new company, we have to offer some better incentives for people to buy our actual product. The time we went for is the industry standard 5 years. Our expected sales, we did not go year by year breakdown, but we instead chose a full 5-year complete unit. So we are going for 210,000 units. The estimated price is somewhere between the average range that SUVs are here in India, that is 8.98 to 23.9 lakhs, the annual maintenance cost and the annual production and annual training cost. So combining those and calculating a net present value, that comes out to be around 14,045 crore rupees. And with that, we can move on to the question answers.
Thanks for the presentation, guys. I think one of the things that I would want to understand is why choose the customer segment as your target customer audience as people who are in the age group of 50 to 65. Is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
So basically, just go on.
Okay, so we are targeting people who will actually use SUV. So the mindset is that they're probably going to have 2 cars. One is probably going to be for people to go to office, and the next is going to be for family outings and all. So like a survey respondents responded, so a lot of people do want cars that will fit their whole family in. So 5 or 7 seaters, and that usually comes under the SUV target. And people who want that car are usually in the range of 55 to 65 years. So that's what our survey told us, and that's what we decided to go for after doing our research.
I would like to add something.
How many people were there in this survey?
So as you can see, there were 52 survey. Yes, 52 survey respondents.
And just as in who all did you contact? As in what kind of people were there? As in, are these your family members or some stuff like that, or
so
friends?
Yeah, sure, go on.
Like our family members and our friends' family members and all like that.
It might be flawed. My understanding is you start a family around 30, 35, right? So why wait till 55, 65 to buy a car for a family need, right? So you might be cutting down on your market there.
Yes, it is like on paper, but like initially, if we start family at 30, like the income and all will be also less. So as our target market is like target pricing is around about 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs. That's why at that age, around that age will be the ideal customer for the product. It can be a variable, like it will be around 45 to 65%.
And you're saying what does the number that you have mentioned denote here? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the segments.
Yes, sir. So these are the 4 different age segments in our survey respondents.
Okay. The next thing is, I think, what exactly is the product that you're trying to sell? I could not see anything on the product front.
The product is like compact SUV and SUVs mainly.
And do you have anything on the detailed features that you would be, as in how does it differentiate from other competitors? How
Like
will you
basically,
create that differentiation?
On the basis of the target brand image, it will be like a strong build, futuristic, like all the features of safety and comfort, and different powertrains.
No, but these are all things that the competitors are also working on, right? So how do you plan to differentiate yourself?
Offering it at a on the value proposition, and next step will be offering the alternative fuels like the EVs and the hybrids in future.
Yes, so initially we're building only one product. Like the Shark Tank judges always say that we cannot solve everything for everyone. So early on, we are focusing on only one product and only on a particular customer segment. And then as we go on, we are going to increase the amount of the SUVs that we are offering and our customer segment. So initially, we are only going to focus on one product.
I get that, but what I'm trying to say is your product is not differentiated enough from the consumers. Is my understanding from the competitors? Is my understanding from the presentation. So unless and until you have that differentiation in your product, it might not sell, or you might not be able to create that 5% market share that you are targeting.
Right, sir. We understand.
That is my perception that I get from the PPT. But yeah, I think good attempt. Mukund, do you have any questions?
Yeah. First, can you go to your financial slides?
Yes, sir.
Expected sales 210,000 units. That is in total 5 years, right?
5 years, yes, sir. Combining sales of every year for 5 years.
Okay, how much do you expect it would sell in the first year?
Around 30,000, 30 to 50,000.
30 to 50,000 would mean around 3 or 4,000 per month.
Yes,
right,
sir. And linearly increasing with time as the brand mature in the market.
Okay, seems a bit high, but okay, cool. Another question on your target segment. So you also, I think you said that you would target people in the age 55 to 65 who are already owning a car, right? And your car would be a second vehicle that they own.
Right, so that's what, yes, we saw a trend in the Indian market, and that's what the usual trend supports.
Okay, so how do you plan to break into the existing relationship that the customer has with the first car that he owns? So for example, Arjun Singh owns a Hyundai Verna. Why would he not buy a Creta? And why would he come to you? How would you break into that existing relationship that the customer has?
So first will be the marketing. As the brand visibility increases, they will go and look for it is the loyalty, but Indian customer has a tendency to go for the best offer. So first by marketing, so then so we can show that we are present, and after that it will be on the value proposition, offering competitive pricing, great features at that, and
okay. Cool. Quickly, one last question.
Yes, sir.
Your target segment is 55 to 65, but the marketing channels that you had used were social media, FOMO marketing. So, do you think these would target your segment correctly, or these would reach your segment correctly?
Right. Yes, sir. So people usually around that age are people who do a lot of research. So the research is primarily going to be online based, since that's what people have grown to use, because the information is much more available, easier online. So that's what we are targeting, and that's what people that age will use as well if they are going to research for a new car. That's what our understanding was behind that.
Also, our showrooms will be on high retail venues, for example, malls and other shopping streets kind of thing. So people, usually the affluent class visits there and will then take a test drive and then go for the vehicle.
Got it. Okay, cool. That was all. Thanks, team.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, team BioPNL. That was a very insightful presentation indeed. Next up, I'd like to call team Outliers. If you could just raise your virtual hands. Yeah, you guys can just share your presentation.
Yeah, just give us a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Team YOPNL, I would request you to kindly lower your virtual hand.
My screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Yeah, thank you. You can continue.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So we are Team Outliers from Jadavpur University, and we are a team of technology cum management enthusiasts from the Department of Mechanical Engineering over there. And we would like to present our strategy and our solution to the problem statement provided to us. So we would like to start with the presentation. So first, we have done a brief market analysis of the automotive industry in India. So India is the fourth largest automobile market in the world. And as per a study by Center for Energy Finance, by 2030, there will be an opportunity of $206 billion for electric vehicles in India. And here, as we can see, that by 2025, four-wheelers or passenger vehicles will have an EV penetration of 3%. And by 2030, it will reach to around 15%. So Palantir can have a huge growth potential in the EV sector in India. And the Porter's 5 forces analysis for the automotive industry shows us that the 5 major forces driving the industry are high industry competition, threat of substitutes and buyers' bargaining power, threat of new entrants, and suppliers' bargaining power. So moving on to the next slide. Here we have analyzed the market size and share of Palantir. So from our analysis, we got that the Indian automotive industry has a market size of 4.9 crores. And in the entire automotive industry structure, four-wheelers occupy a 13% share. So market size of four-wheelers becomes 0.6 crores roughly. Since Palantir is focused on the four-wheeler segment only, so for a brand like this, it's fair to assume a 5% market share in the four-wheeler industry after the first year, since people in the Indian market already have four-wheelers today. Thus, market share of Palantir is estimated to be at roughly 0.032 crores. So now moving on, it is now, as it was mentioned in the case, that Fiat Chrysler Automobiles or PMA has entered the Indian market previously too, but it had to stop its production then due to dismal sales. So let us try to understand what went wrong back then. The main reasons for its failure was the low income level of the Indian customers, high cost of its Fiat brand, unavailable or expensive spare parts, and high competition from the already established players. So addressing all these challenges, Team Outliers has thereby proposed a suitable product launch strategy for Palantir. So because of the high cost of the brand, only the high income level group will be able to afford it. Thus, to maximize the market share, Palantir should manufacture the best selling models at 3 different price points, serving the luxury, mid-commercial and affordable segments. But taking into account the high cost of the Palantir brand, their major sales volume will come only from the high-end luxury model. Thus, the target market segment for Palantir are the high income level groups, which equates to around roughly 88,000 customers. Now, Palantir can also do some partnerships and joint ventures with established OEMs in India to minimize production and assembly unit costs. Palantir can enable the technology, set production and quality standards, offer manufacturing expertise, and lend its strong brand. Thus, in partnership with the Indian OEMs and assemblers, the industry may consider entering the Indian market with co-branded four-wheelers. And finally, Team Outliers has proposed a 5-year plan for the sustainable growth and development of Palantir. With the government's revamped scrappage policy, Palantir will have to address the resale market and focus on the repeat customers. Within the next 5 years, Palantir can offer a one-stop solution to all its customers for vehicle scrapping, including vehicle evaluation, to providing end-to-end services for vehicle pickup and transportation, to finally providing their customers with incentives if they purchase from Palantir. So now moving on to the next slide.
Now we can see the proposed value chain, which starts with inbound logistics, followed by operations, then by outbound logistics, then by sales and marketing, and finally by service. And now we will discuss about 5 methods by which how we will improve the supply chain. First is communicate explaining. In frequent urban journeys less than 100 kilometers between charging points, electric vehicles are much cheaper to use than internal combustion engine vehicles, more pleasant to drive and less pollutant. And also in urban circuits, an electric model offers more zen or comfortable drive. These are key advantages of electric vehicles, which must be explained and demonstrated in all communication opportunities. Second is a don't sell, means the commercial pressure and appealing and detailed explanation that doesn't always work together. Electric vehicles need to be sold with a non-selling approach. Traditional car retails is so used to commercial pressure like incentives and campaigns that is very difficult for the sales staff to adopt consistently and this non-selling approach. The agency retail concepts and the product genius concept, which was used by BMWs, are a very good examples which the electric vehicles in Palantir can use. Third is go social. As we can see before, customer education is a priority in electric EV marketing. Sales consultants should bet on social media to easily access their customer base using text, images, and videos. They shouldn't use only brand content. We should train the people to create their own videos explaining their own in their own words and driving in recognizable roads. The third is we should emphasize on novelty. Almost all vehicles are good vehicles, but they are not. But they are also very similar in nature. Most customers change their cars and motorcycles, but don't get a radical new product. So EVs are refreshingly new. They have new sensations, new economics, and new constraints. Although all innovations do have their own drawbacks, but novelty is a very good argument to sell. And the third is focus on advertisement. Advertisement will help the organization to increase the awareness level and the products in a given market. Similarly, the promotions will help the company to introduce new launching offers in market. The customer should be informed about such offers through different from advertisements. However, the market term also needs to take in account the budget considerations and constraints before preparing the promotion plans for a given period. Thank you. For the next speaker.
So coming to the pricing strategy, we will adopt a suitable pricing strategy by analyzing the three standard pricing models, which are cost plus margin model, value model, and the competitive pricing model. Now, based on our targeted selling markets, competition is a critical factor. So thus, to be able to sell our products and services, we will need to price them competitively. So we recommend Palantir to adopt a competitive pricing strategy, even if it means thin margins initially. And in the next slide, we will look at the investments required for Palantir to enter the Indian automobile market. A one-time fixed investment will be required, which includes setting up of the manufacturing plants, purchasing all the equipments and raw materials, as well as operation and maintenance costs for a period of 10 years. The production cost will be roughly 70% of the sale price of the models. Price point for the three segment of models has been set at 1.5 crore, 40 lakhs, and 15 lakhs respectively. Now, coming to the profits earned for the same, the luxury model is going to have a profit margin of 0.45 crore with an annual sale of around 8,000 units. The mid-commercial model is going to have a profit margin of 0.12 crore with an annual sale of 22,500 units. And the affordable segment will have a contribution margin of 0.05 crores along with a sale of 500 units annually. So now moving on to the next slide. So coming to the most important part of the pitch, the value bundle and the unique selling proposition that Palantir needs to offer, we feel that in a country where brands like Maruti has already disrupted the supply chain enough and has offered affordable four-wheelers to Indian households, Palantir should play the brand game rather than tampering with the price point too much. With every 1 out of 5 Indians these days wanting to buy products or associate themselves with brands that have some sort of environmental friendliness or sustainability angle attached to them, we feel that Palantir as a brand should divert its attention towards sustainable and renewable products and technologies that would form the foundation of the future of mobility and fuel in the Indian backdrop. Thereby, Palantir needs to focus on this aspect extensively, and we Team Outliers unveil one such novel technique for them for the extraction of lithium metal from seawater and the subsequent fabrication of LIVs for the electric and hybrid vehicles, which we think can prove to be the quintessential solution to the existing energy scarcity problems of the world and could also help them emerge as the key of the e-mobility phase in India. Now, here arises two very pertinent questions. First is, why would they be opting for this methodology when we can already extract lithium from existing pit mines? Now, seawater is a renewable infinite source of energy, and it's found the seas and the oceans contain about 5,000 times more lithium than the land, which if extracted properly can be put to good use. Also, the lithium extracted from the brine water solutions generate about 4% less of the total greenhouse gas emissions as compared to that produced from the traditional pit mines, thereby serving the environment pretty well. And needless to mention that our plan also hints of the diversion of the extractive industry to lower grade abundant ores like lithium, thereby helping Palantir to generate higher economic returns in the near future. Now, coming to what exactly would the company be gaining as a whole from this particular plan, first is the local elimination of the transportation constraints of mining lithium in foreign countries and shipping it in India, thereby supporting Atmanirbhar Bharat extensively. Next, the reduction of the environmental footprint of the LIV production via the elimination of several links in the supply chain. Third, it provides a unique solution to the mass manufacturing of LIVs without letting the company Palantir face any sort of lithium crunch by 2025, when the e-mobility phase is supposed to take its full phase here in India. And finally, the maintenance of the brand image. This plan would help them in pioneering the e-mobility phase here in India, utilizing sustainable energy resources, thereby helping them maintain the brand of a brand that utilizes and uses sustainable energy resources. Moving on to the next slide. This slide is a technical slide that gives us the 3-step solution, starting with the seawater collection and its waste treatment. Secondly, the graphene mesh networks usage to procure brine and divide into 2 segments. That is one of purified water and the other of the concentrated brine solution. The concentrated brine solution would be Palantir's primary source to extract lithium carbonate, from which we would be eventually extracting lithium by the pre-treatment of brine. And this is the lithium that is to be deployed in the batteries for the electric and hybrid vehicles. The next slide also elaborates that after the extraction of the lithium carbonate from the reject stream, we can obtain our lithium from it, the metallic lithium, by uses of this particular reactions, and also the cathode, anode, and the electrolyte to be used for the same. And we would like to wind up by talking about a very important product modification plan that, in spite of several other players in the market already manufacturing using LIBs for the electric vehicles, how exactly would our product be different and better than them all? And how can we target that segment of the market that prefers sporty, luxurious, expensive cars with the best of technology? Thereby, Team Outliers would wind up by presenting before you all their product modification plan, bolstering the range of our fabricated LIVs with the aid of supercapacitors. Now, do you know that using a 9 kWh lithium battery could provide about 110 miles of range, but adding a 0.1 kWh capacitor would increase that to 180 miles as well as boost peak power output? But what exactly is a supercapacitor? They are nothing but high capacity capacitors that charge much faster than batteries, can operate in the harshest of temperature ranges, they do not wear out due to chemical reactions, and thus have a much longer lifespan than batteries with more than 1 million charge-discharge cycles. Thereby, our proposed hybrid supercapacitor battery arrangement for the EVs and HVs would combine the supercapacitor's rapid energy intake with the battery's long-term storage abilities for the sporty and adventurous cars, thereby offering the best of both worlds. A successful merger of these technologies would enhance the balance between charge time and range, and would also improve regenerative braking efficiency for Palantir cars. And the next slide gives us a brief overview of the SWOT analysis, talking about the strengths we have, or the weaknesses we have, the opportunities that we have got to cover, and the threats. And we are open to any sort of questions from the jury.
Cool. Thanks, Team Outliers. Very detailed presentation. Before we start, do you guys have the financials also?
Stranger, would you like to take that question now?
Yes, sir. Devoshi, will you go to the finance slide, the investment slide? Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So you are saying, tell me if I'm reading this correctly, the affordable model, which has a selling price of 15 lakhs, has an annual sales volume of 500 units, and the luxury model, which has a selling price of 1.5 crores, has an annual sale volume of 8,800 units.
Yeah.
How is that? Why is the expensive car selling a lot more, and that car costs 1.5 crores? Did you benchmark it with any other car? How much does a 1.5 crore car sell in India?
No, so like I have analyzed, like in the market, in the initial slides, we have done the market analysis. So Devoshi, can you move on to that initial slide of market analysis? So there we have divided our customer segment on the basis of the income level. Market analysis slide. Yeah, this one. So here we have divided the customer segment into on the basis of high income, middle income, and low income group. And from there we have obtained that the market size of automobile in India is like roughly around 4.9 crores. And since Palantir, this brand is focused on introducing four-wheeler segment. So we have seen that in the automobile industry structure, like passenger vehicles or four-wheelers have a 13% share. So the market size of four-wheeler is around 0.64 crores. And like Palantir, since it is coming up as a new brand in India, and already there are lots of established players, so we have taken a minimal of only 5% share for Palantir in the market.
Stranger, I would just like to elaborate that a bit further. So, sir, like the main reason why there was this kind of disparity, or like the units like which the more selling cars are the one that are expensive is that. So Pilantis, like the company that we are targeting, had already, come here in India and they had tried to sell. And the major reason why they failed was that they were targeting the higher end audience and those cars were already very expensive. So for a second time re-entry, it's very obvious that they won't be able to, bring down the cost to such an extent that they would be making this car so affordable like that of any other player like Maruti or Hyundai, so that every other household will be able to afford them. So for the local households, they would be going for the already established brands or players. So for the higher end audience who are already, as I said in my pitch, almost 1 out of 5 Indians these days want to associate themselves with brands that have some sort of sustainability angle to them.
Got it.
So this kind of brands.
Yeah, no, sorry to interrupt, but
Yes, sir.
I get that. But did you benchmark it with any other vehicle? Does a vehicle costing 1.5 crores sell 8,000 units in India?
Stranger, would you be taking that question up?
No, like we haven't compared it to the already existing ones, but like we are focusing on the electric vehicle segment. So in Indian market, like in the like most of the competitors which are there, they are mainly focusing right now on the IC engine vehicles. So for that, we could not draw up a similar
Got it.
comparison with those.
Cool.
So it's a kind of projected thing, like over the next 5 years when the e-mobility phase is, going to reach its peak. So by that time, that is the figure that we are approximately expecting on Pilantis ends.
Cool. One last question. So your whole analysis on the lithium extraction process towards the end of your presentation. So does that indicate that you want to get into manufacturing batteries as well? And would you do that in India? Would you do that elsewhere? What would be the capital cost involved there?
Right, sir. So basically, like as I already said in my pitch, that the entire plan, why there were two different aspects to the lithium manufacturing, is that one, like we want to sell Pilantis as one such brand which is not only selling EVs but is selling EVs that utilizes sustainable and renewable resources. So the present technologies in the market, like the existing players who are already manufacturing lithium, they make use of such technologies that put this brine water into this big sand, ponds and pits, and they let it evaporate, and eventually the salt that seeps down in the water table, it's leaving that particular area arid and unfit for agriculture or any other commercial activity for the next, say, 10 to 15 years. So we don't want that to happen. So we are actually moving into the manufacturing of batteries as well, where we want to make a tie-up with Hero, Motocorp Limited. Hero Motocorp Limited's new units, that's the Chittor unit that's being set up in Chittor. So they are largely focusing on the manufacturing of LIVs from this novel technique in that particular unit. So I think, like, because the LIV manufacturing for two-wheelers or for four-wheelers, they work on very similar terms. So the extraction of the seawater, because they also have tie-up, they are planning on this tie-up with the Minjo desalination plant. So the entire thing, I think, would be helpful, like to, not only from the brand perspective that they are tying up with the leading two-wheeler industry here in India, that is Hero, but also from the manufacturing part. So I think that would be very useful for them.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I took up a lot of time. Kartavya, do you have any questions?
Chittor, Rajasthan, you mean?
Yes, so I could not get your question.
Chittor is in Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah.
Oh, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, my bad. Sorry. I have one question. I think it builds on Mukund's point. Why do you want to get into all the three segments? As in, you're selling 500 cars for one segment. Would you want to set up the entire production unit for just making 500 cars? And added to that, you understand that you can't make a 1.5 crore car and a 500 and a 10 lakh car on the same platform. So you'll need different production units as well. So why go into all that investment just for 500 units?
So the basic reason why we want to move on to that particular segment is that the present scenario, like the entire plan that we have proposed, right now the kind of investments that is going to take, it's pretty high. So that would cater to the 1.5 CR vehicles. But eventually, like the kind of research that we have done, it shows that if we could mass manufacture these batteries and these cars, then eventually within a span of 5 years, so this costs are going to drop as high as 30 to 40%. So during that particular time, we could actually be catering, or we could actually be targeting that part of the audience who are maybe buying affordable cars from other players in the market, and that particular market segment could be targeted by us during that. So we don't want to leave any particular market segment untargeted. So maybe that would cost us, that would not be very profitable on our end to set up a manufacturing unit to be just manufacturing 500 units of cars. But we don't want to leave that particular market segment vacant, so that later on when we have the brand image and when we have everything established, we don't leave that particular market segment untapped, because we think that is the way forward for a brand like this to be established pan-India.
Also, I think that the number that you're forecasting for the 1.5 crore segment is also too low to actually set up a production unit. I did a quick search on Mercedes and Audis. Mercedes sells around 8,000 units in India. Audi sells around 3,000, and I don't think they're manufacturing the cars in India. So I think that is something that you might have to think through, as in the manufacturing plan that you have. And that's all the questions that I had. Thank you. Great presentation, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. So this was indeed a very insightful solution that you guys provided. I would now request the last team for the day, that is Team Sapphire, to kindly raise your virtual hands. Yeah, you guys can present your screen. Yeah, Shreya, your screen is visible. You're not audible.
So, Samriddhi, you can start.
Is it now?
Yeah, Samriddhi, now it is audible.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, honorable judges. This is Samriddhi from Team Sapphire, and we are here to provide our take on how we can counter the existing problems and establish our brand Palantis in India and build a customer base. After thoroughly understanding our case, we did a detailed analysis on the market trends in the automobile sector. We got to learn a lot of new things about the automobile industry, of which we before didn't have any prior info. I want you, so this is our strategies that we propose to do. We want you to meet our team. Shreya Gupta and I are fellow team members, and Shreya Jain is our team captain. We all are from Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies, and we are first year students. Over to Shreya.
Okay, so we would start by explaining our target market segment. So our product will cater to the need for high segment affordable cars of the upper middle income group and the lower middle income group. We have chosen this segment as our target market because the middle income group in India comprises of the 28% population of the country. So keeping the prospects of scalability in mind, we have chosen this target market segment for a strategy. So now Samriddhi will explain the value bundle.
Okay. So the first thing that comes in mind is why us. So the thing is, after thoroughly analyzing the current market trends, we dawned upon some important facts. Firstly, petrol and diesel prices have been skyrocketing, and there is a need for a more economical alternative. Now CNG is there, it comes into the picture, but it's a great fuel option. And a lot of people are still hesitant towards switching over to CNG options. There are several reasons for this. First of all, there is the lack of awareness. Then the thing is that when you're retrofitting CNG kits in your vehicle, it's a risky process unless done by a professional. Then there are chances of leakage. And whenever you get a CNG kit retrofitted, you lose the vehicle warranty. The number of CNG filling stations are also not that many as compared to the petrol pumps. And locating and finding CNG pumps nearby is also kind of a hassle. Next, we have observed that there is a lot of craze and demand for mini and compact SUVs in the market. The youth is drawn to it. The SUV market is growing at a tremendous pace. We can find a lot of SUVs on the road. Hyundai's Creta, Maruti's Vitara, Brezza, they all are really successful models. What we found out next was that there are a lot of brands companies offering their hatchback models in CNG hybrid variant. However, there are yet to introduce SUVs in a CNG hybrid variant option. Maruti Suzuki is currently working on it, and it is planning to introduce this in its very successful Brezza with a CNG option by 2025. Here we saw the huge market potential which we can tap into and harness. There is also the importance of sustainable development. After brainstorming and considering all these options, we have decided that we will provide an environment and budget-friendly alternative through our CNG hybrid hatchbacks and compact SUV models. We are going to be the first brand to do so in the SUV segment. CNG fuel is cleaner, cheaper, and greener. It's only fair that with the growing demand of SUVs, we make this boon accessible for all. Our brand will have a lot to offer. We will strive towards providing high-end features to our customers at Indian costs. all the while with no compromise in quality. By addressing the need of the hour of sustainable development and keeping in mind the customer demands, since our target market segment is the middle income groups, our brand will be learning from the mistakes of Fiat and not providing luxury features or strive to be a luxury brand. We'll be the people's car. India drives home in a Palantis. Our brand will focus on bringing to our customers the comfort and luxuries of SUVs in an all-new, never-before model, where we will pack in high-class features, sleek exteriors, plush interiors, top-notch connectivity, and enhanced safety, and an overall solid performance without compromising on the environment. We will also make genuine and cheap spare parts better available. Customers can check their availability on a smartphone app. Our further vision is that we will adapt to the need of the times and later on introduce EVs in the coming years when India has the required infrastructure for it. We plan to launch small battery-powered electric cars in the upcoming 5 years with an aim to make electric cars affordable and accessible for the middle income groups. Customers can expect EVs with improved internal battery, greater range, anti-skating brake, and convenient charging infrastructure in the near future. This way, we will maintain our brand sustainability. Over to my peers. Next slide.
Am I audible? Yeah, so at this stage, we are focusing upon the launch plan. So the first stage is idea generation for the model. And there we will be focusing upon the CNG hybrid hatchbacks and SUVs. Coming on to the next part, that is idea screening. So here we will be focusing upon the SWOT analysis of our model and analyzing the cost structure of our model, such as raw material, manufacturing cost, etc. Coming upon on the localized research and development, here we'll be focusing upon how the market is behaving towards the product and how it will be. So deep understanding of the target audience would be done. On the product development, this is a comprehensive stage where there will be intensive, capital intensive investment would be done, and this is our production stage. Focusing on the product and market testing. So this is how we are going to actually analyze in what waters are we right now to see how well our product and services is there and offer will perform or not. It will include a research trial that aim to transfer the questions around how the market will react to the product knowledge. Focusing upon the market entry and commercialization, here we will be focusing on the PR relations and on creating a good brand image for a product and also having a mainstream media often pick up the innovation stories. Focusing upon the distribution channel. So our distribution channel is a straight line distribution, which comes from the supplier to the manufacturer and hence to the dealer. Or also we can also provide an online platform for our consumers to have a convenience to actually see their models and attractive offers on an online platform on the smartphone. And then we will be focusing upon to the customers. Next slide.
So our 5-year action plan is aimed to help Palantis sustain and build a market in India for its brand. So after the launch, in the first year, after launching CNG hybrid compact SUVs, we aim to effectively market it and establish an active web presence. In the second year, we have decided to launch various facilities like smart finance, membership care programs, etc. In the third year post-launch, we have planned to launch EVs with convenient infrastructure because we all are quite aware that EVs have a great growth potential in the future. And in the following year, that's the fourth year, we'll emphasize on localizing our operations, which would include localization of R&D, establishing more manufacturing units in India, etc. And in the fifth year post-launch, we would analyze our progress and performance and increase the customer engagement on that basis. So our key focus areas in the next 5 years are basically the actions we would be taking to effectively implement our 5-year plan post-launch. So I would like to highlight major focus areas out of the ones listed here. So the first one would be pursuing export opportunities aggressively. then we would focus on offering new and modified features in our existing and as well as upcoming models. It will help us penetrate more in the Indian market itself. Also, we'll be utilizing our existing international tie-ups because we are aware that Stellantis is a multinational automobile corporation. And also, we will form partnerships and ecosystems to capture value in the automobile industry. Over to Samriddhi.
Certain strategies that we can employ for making our brand stand out and grabbing a customer base in the country is we can launch our products on an online platform. We can also actively work on effective marketing and in building a positive brand image such that people feel a sense of connection to the brand. We can facilitate door-to-door delivery to enhance convenience, and we plan on setting up our manufacturing units in India and localizing R&D in the next 5 years. This way, we will save on taxes and import costs that are there. And we also plan on offering certain incentives for our customers. The customers can experience our cars in a virtual reality, in an exciting experience of virtual reality. We'll also have some tie-ups with various driving schools, and we will be offering free driving lessons for our customers, and also introducing a lot of membership care programs. We will also be rewarding referrals and reviews. Next slide.
Yeah, so Samriddhi, since your time is up, can you quickly just wrap up the slide?
Yeah, we are
Give a brief
summarizing
about
just,
it.
just in a minute. Okay. So the marketing mix, we are focusing on the comprehensive research, that is of the 4 Ps, the product, pricing, promotion, and place. In the product, we have already mentioned it's going to be a B2C model. Focusing on the pricing, it's going to be a premium features at the Indian cost. Focusing upon the place, we have also focused upon the shopping malls to align with the maximum brand exposure. So our direct-to-consumer sales approach would be useful. For focusing upon the promotion, we have also focused on the flash sale and limited time price reduction, and also a website, blog, forums, video marketing, establishing an active web presence through our app. Next slide. Yes, Samriddhi, can you give a...
Through our smartphone app, everything will be at your fingertips, and your car will come alive through our app. We will offer
Samriddhi,
lots of useful features through that app.
Go ahead. Go to the next slide.
This is a short animation that will, in short, show the features that we'll offer through our app.
Go ahead. Go to the next slide.
Next slide.
So focusing upon the future with the EVs, we are focusing on the mainstream ideas like regenerative braking. In the regenerative braking, an EV helps us to actually save back the energy and travel back to the battery pack, which will actually provide a longer durability of the battery packs. And also focusing upon the improved batteries, we are focusing on the solid state
It's all
batteries.
right. You don't have to.
Batteries. Sorry.
You don't have to explain. It's all right. I will read through them. Go to the next slide.
Next slide.
How many slides do we have left?
Just 1 to 2 more.
Go to the last slide. I think yes. Just stay on this one. Just stay on the cost distribution. So first of all, good presentation, guys. I think some great thought process has gone into building this out. So you are saying that you would want to get the SUVs into the Indian market at a lower price point.
Yes, sir.
Without compromising on the features. How do you tackle the issue of the costs particularly involved with those features? As in, how do you propose to bring down those costs as well? Because you will have to remain profitable, right? Or do you propose that you sell out in losses in the initial years or something like that?
Yes, sir. So your question is really valid. And what we propose to do is, because we are going to introduce something that no other brand has done till yet, we'll be introducing our SUVs in a CNG hybrid option before any other competitor can do that. And apart from that, initially we'll not focus on giving luxury features, but only those that make the driving experience good. Like the features that the middle class want, so that they have a solid performance, enhanced safety, and better connectivity. So we'll be giving only high-end features, not very luxury ones, so that we don't have to spend on those costs. And in that way, we'll be trying to put down the costs by offering something unique and not providing really luxury features.
No, but
Value for money types model.
I may be wrong here, but have you researched the price of manufacturing a CNG variant of a car versus the normal engine variant, diesel engine variant, or a petrol engine variant? I don't think there's much difference in the cost per se. The operating cost is definitely different, but the cost of manufacturing still remains the same. My guess is it could be higher for CNG.
So what we have analyzed is that there's not much substantial difference in the cost. The cost will come out to be the same, and our price range would be the same that is there for the current Brezza and everything. That is around 10 lakhs. And in that, we are going to pack our USP. And initially, we'll be having less margins, but when the brand gets a hold in the market, then profit will be there.
So then your USP becomes that you are, so essentially it'll be all the features that the other cars have, plus an additional CNG, which is your USP, plus you are trying to lower the costs by reducing your profit margins. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, sir. So we'll do better marketing also, so that people feel connected to the brand. And we'll not provide all the features that are out there, that the features that are there that to add to the luxury of the brand, but those that are really essential and that will only enhance user experience to a certain limit.
And we are not reducing the profit margin per se, because we are mostly focusing on the hybrid system. Then we will be also focusing on the tri-fuel. So tri-fuel is basically a mechanism of the three kind of thing, where we have electric car plus a CNG car plus with petrol car, so to provide the convenience to our customers. So we are not reducing the profit margin, since the product is having a lot of convenience in terms of the usage and the convenience and the durability, and also in terms of charging also, and the way of switching would be actually very useful for our customers, so the profit margin won't be that low.
No, but all right, but I don't agree to this thought, because your profit margin does not depend on how your consumer is using it. I agree that the cost for your consumers will go down because of these features, but your cost won't go down. That is what I understand. The other thing is, how does EV? So you had a lot of focus on EV. How does EV come into play? When do you plan to introduce that?
So we will be focusing like actually launching EV in 2024. Until then, we are going to focus upon our improvement of the batteries, internal batteries. We are not focusing on the conventional batteries that are lithium ion batteries. We are focusing upon the solid state batteries. So the main problem with the lithium ion batteries is that there is leakage, fire, and also there is a liquid solid solution in it. So we will be focusing on the solid state, so that there is no such leakage as it is in the lithium ion battery because of the change in temperature, and it will provide more productivity and battery system to our product. And we have also focused on a feature that is called regenerative brake. So the regenerative brake is basically circling back the energy back into the battery.
All right. I get that. I just want to understand again. I think from the last presentation's question, then you want to get into the battery manufacturing business as well. Is our understanding then?
Yeah, we would be focusing on a little bit of the manufacturing of that battery system, or we can also associate with anyone who is already under the scheme, as it is provided in
Got
India.
it.
So we might.
One last question from my side. You said in one of the slides that your main focus would be on exports. How will that help in creating an image in the Indian market? I think it was one of your slides earlier that you
So
presented.
what we had stated was that because we will be localizing and manufacturing in India in the next 5 years and setting up our factories here, so that way we'll be saving the costs of that comes from export or from importing in our country, and the taxes and all that are there. That is because वो बाहर से सामान आ रहा है, तो हम लोग इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे तो वो इम्पोर्ट का कम आएगा कॉस्ट.
Can you go back to your just go back to your presentation once?
Shreya, presentation लगा दो please.
I'm sorry, guys. It's taking a little bit time. OJAS team, sorry.
No worries, no worries. Shreya, are you presenting? Shreya, am I audible? Can someone else present from Team Sapphire?
Okay, sir, I'm presenting. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
So this is our first slide. This is second. Target market
Go to
segment.
the sixth slide once. Sixth slide.
So why us?
No. Go
Launch
to the
plan.
eighth slide.
5-year action plan.
Go to the ninth slide. This one. What is pursue export opportunities aggressively?
So initially we are thinking that so we'll be setting up in India, and apart from that, if we get a market abroad as well, then because it's something new that we are doing, we'll try to expand it in a foreign market as well. Like,
But you're already
again,
present in the foreign market, right?
so foreign में भी CNG hybrid SUVs का concept नहीं launch हुआ है अभी. तो we said कि after अगर brand establish हो जाएगा तो हम उसका हमारा brand international brand है, so we'll be working on its international presence as well.
Okay.
Committing
Mukund,
towards making it a global thing.
got it. Got it. Understandable. Mukund, do you have any questions? I'm sorry I took much of the time.
No, I think I'm good. You covered most of the questions that I had as well.
Great. Thank you.
Cool,
Thank you so
thanks,
much,
team.
team, for your presentation.
Thanks, Sapphire.
Thank you, Team Sapphire. So that was indeed a very insightful and a unique presentation. I would request Team Sapphire to please stop screen sharing.
Shreya, stop the screen sharing.
Yeah, thank you all. So, wow, these were some presentations, right? I'm sure that our judges would have an extremely tough time now deciding the winner and the runner-up among such innovative business solutions. I would now like to request our judges to move to the breakout room so that they can decide who the winner and the runner-up for aSPire 2022 strategy case competition would be. So logistics team, if you could just open the breakout rooms for our judges. Team Sapphire, you can load on your virtual hand. Yeah, so can someone from the logistics team please confirm if the judges are in the breakout room?
Yes, Bharat, both the judges are in the breakout room now.
Okay, thank you, Sambar. Yeah, guys, so aSPire is all about providing a taste of MBA to all our fellow undergraduate participants. As a token of our appreciation for all the efforts each one of you has put into these amazing business ideas, we have something else in store for you. I would request all of you to fill up the Google Sheet that was circulated to you yesterday. I would also request the logistics team to kindly share the link for the Google Sheet again on Zoom chat. So we'll be giving you all a couple of minutes. Please fill in the Google Sheet if you have not already. So once you have filled in your Google Sheets, can you please raise your virtual hand so that we'll get to know that you filled it? So I would require each and every one of you to fill the Google Sheet.
Just to confirm, you're talking about the sheet that was shared on WhatsApp, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
It has your address and stuff like that.
Yeah, we filled it.
Yeah. So Simrit has just shared the link in the Zoom chat as well. You can go ahead and fill it. Just to confirm, Aman and Shreya from Team Sapphire, have you filled in your Google Sheets?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
have.
Can you just raise your virtual hands just for clarification? I guess someone from Team Incognito is also there. I cannot get his full name. So has he filled the sheet?
Yeah, we have filled the sheet.
Yeah. He has also filled, right? Your teammate?
Yeah, both have filled the sheet.
Okay, fine. You can lower down your hands. I think that everyone has filled the sheet. Thank you, guys. So, friends, there's one more favor to ask of you. So, Team OJAS has been working tirelessly to come up with various interactive events with enriching experiences. I would like to tell you all that Dare to Compete Cultural Fest voting is now live. And if you guys have enjoyed our process and all the events that we planned for you, you can vote for us on the D2C portal. I request the logistics team to kindly share the link for the D2C portal as well.
I'll share my screen so that everybody can navigate across with me and we can fill that form together.
Yep.
Bharat, please let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yeah, your screen is visible somewhere.
All right, thank you. So hi everyone. I hope you've logged in to the link which I have shared in the chat window. You'll be getting this kind of a screen out there. You just need to scroll down and select D2C Popular College Festivals 2022. Once done, can you please put in the chat window? And Bharat, please let me know if I can move to the next step.
Yep, I'll let you know. So guys, you can just write the word done on the chat window once you're in it.
All right. So once you've come here onto the screen, you will see that you can choose a minimum of 3 and maximum of 5 festivals from the below list out there. So we have SPJIMR OJAS festival out there, and we also have the list of all the other B school college festivals out there. We request you to select at least 3 or maximum of 5 from the below festivals. If you've liked the event today, we request you to please select OJAS as a festival as well.
Yeah. So meanwhile, team outliers, you have your virtual hands-on. Also, team Sapphire Shreya and team Chocolate Divya.
Apt or this much experienced in giving out presentations like these. So that is a good thing. And I think all the teams were quite well. We judged on a couple of parameters. I think clarity of thought was one. I think the uniqueness of the idea. I think industry knowledge. These were a few parameters that we judged the presentations on, and more or less everyone was quite up to mark. It's just that 2 teams, which we would be announcing, were a little better than the rest of you. So I think all of you stand at a good place in terms of the overall standing. Now we have to announce the runners-up first. So I think the runners-up team is Team Misi. Great round of applause for you guys. Congratulations, Team Misi.
Congratulations, Team
Thank
Misi.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great to hear.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Team EC. That was indeed a very great presentation and a very thought-out presentation that you guys presented in front of the judges. Now, moving on to Mukund sir, if he could just announce the winner of aSPire 2022 Business Strategy Case Competition.
Yeah. So +1 to everything you said, all the teams were really good, and it's just a matter of 1 or 2 points here and there. And the first position and the winner of Team aSPire, winner of aSPire, is Team Chocolate. So congrats, Team Chocolate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It feels very unreal right now.
And I was particularly impressed by these 2 teams. I think Team Misi had a very unique idea. Team aSPire, I am not sure what are they teaching in NIFT. I'm surprised that you guys know SWOT analysis and stuff. So I think, but yeah, I think both of your presentations were quite detailed, quite well thought out, and a tad bit better than the others. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, guys. If I could just request Team Chocolate and Team Misi, if you could just share your experience and your thoughts about winning aSPire.
I mean, if we can go first, we are a very shy team, actually. I mean, like, both of us are people that you would never hear us talk like much. And we basically spent 2 months on this journey, and it was, I mean, the best 2 months of our 3rd year. I mean, we are 3rd year students, undergraduates right now. But we never expected, like, the journey will take us here. Because if you see, the whole presentation was an ode to our design heritage. I mean, the background, and even the first slide, we had fashion and we had automobiles, because we always wanted, our background, we always considered our background from NIFT as strength and not our weaknesses, because we aren't from business or engineering. But yeah, I mean, the whole journey, we learned so much. Special thanks to our buddy mentor, Mr. Pranit Ayachitola. I mean, he helped us a whole lot. His insights were key, and I mean, Navina, just add to what I said.
I'm totally speechless, because it was a 2 months of it was of 2 months effort. Like, we would stay up 3 o'clock in midnight, and we used to discuss, and we used to read at least 100. It will be minimum 100 articles to 500 articles we would have read. I'm totally speechless. I can't speak anything because, sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'll let you guys alone to enjoy. Team Nisi, if someone can just come forward and tell their experiences of how the journey was of aSPire was like.
Okay, I think I can start and then my teammates can join. So our experience was also kind of very wholesome from the start to the end. We totally enjoyed the case that was given. I think this is our first competition as a team that we have won the first national competition. So we are kind of very excited, even though we got the runners up. We are fairly super excited for this. We were, and after winning, I think this is a great motivation for us at the start. And yeah, the case we all are very interested already, very much interested in EV. So I think that brought us closer to giving our best, because sometimes when the topic is relevant. So the experience was very wholesome. We also did a lot of research and everything. Apart from that, I think we would also like to compliment the organizing team. Everything was very spick and span. Special mention to the buddy program also, that we got our buddy Rishabh. He was very helpful to us. I think he gave very honest feedbacks and also gave us a lot of insights into SPJIMR's life, lifestyle, and everything about MBA. And also, I think fairly we had an absolutely good time during this event. So
Yeah,
Aman,
adding on to what Anushri said, like since we are on the start of our like case competition journey, we are also planning to go for an MBA after this. So it was a very nice kickstart to our case competition experience, and whatever we learned, like things are only going to be bigger and better from here. So yeah, the experience and the learnings which we gained from this competition per se was really wholesome and will definitely help us in the future.
Thank you, Team Nisi, for for your insightful experience about aSPire. I congratulate all the winners and runners-up for aSPire. This year in aSPire, we saw firsthand the exciting talent and innovative thinking that our aSPire participants possess. I wish you all kudos for that. To each and every national finalist for aSPire, I want to tell you that there are two words that we at SPJIMR abide by: courage and heart. The meaning of these words are dwelt deep within each one of us, and I request all of you to enjoy this journey that you all undertook. It was a pleasure to provide you all with a platform to showcase your talent. I wish you all the best for what I'm sure would be an exciting journey ahead. I would like all the winners and the runners-up along with the judges to stay. Thank you all and have